Welcome on in, everybody. Thank you for being here. Welcome to the Old School 3 campaign. This is technically, on a technicality, guys, on a technicality, Matt, Brian, on a technicality, this is the oldest RPG story that we have on a technicality.
True.
Because pieces of it tie back to 30 years ago. Story markers, character markers, some memories go back to almost 30 years ago.
That just makes me feel old.
That just makes you feel old, right? So now that's just on a technicality. This campaign really started just 4 years ago. It's only been going for about 4 years. So, but it ties into other things and other stories and other realms and worlds. So we'll get into that here in a bit. So welcome on in, everybody, of course. Katie officially first and unofficially first. Seven Tail Fox is in here. Girly Girl is in here. Tam Zine is right there. Rockheim Zine. And Steven the Shark. Hello, Redneck Jedi. Also contributing to our Minecraft challenge, our Dead by Daylight challenge. And we also have a Stream Raiders challenge. If you want to see any of those games get played here on stream, redeem your channel points in the Channel Point Challenge redemption to go ahead and get those going. Once we complete those, those will happen. Those will not be extended. Those will not be renewed. I might expand it 2 days because I missed 2 days this week. So I might add on 2 days because of the time that I was missed because I was sick. But otherwise, I will not be doing that. So thank you, Bear, over on YouTube for saying that you can hear me. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. But yeah, guys, welcome on in. We are also raising funds for Movember, !Movember for that link if you'd like it, or !Mo. There is no !Moo because there's no such thing as Movember. This is not a cow fundraiser. God damn it, Octavius. But there's the link.
Usually you pay double for that kind of action cotton.
Usually you pay double for that kind of action cotton. You do. We do have all alerts on. All alerts are on. This is probably our most interactive show, our most interactive stream, with only 3 of us, and it's kind of laid back. We definitely reference the chat probably the most in this RPG than anything else. We also have our standard RPG redeems for stream, so you guys can donate your channel points, your coin of the realm, if you were, to do things like heal players or heal bad guys. You can use it to give players mythic points. You can also use it to give players or bad guys a reroll. And of course, there's one very specific to this game. It is very challenging and very changing and game altering, and that's the drawing of the Fame and Fortune cards. Of which there's only one currently active, and I believe this one is active for a very, very long time. That being said, Brian, make a will save.
What? Is it versus Sonic?
No, it's your daily save.
I know, but I don't remember what it was for. So
you never knew what it was for. You might have pieced it together at some point. Hello, Happy. Welcome on in.
I know I have a phobia of the planes. I think that was from a card, wasn't it?
That is a good roll. You remember everything that happened.
Oh, hey. That's right. Okay.
You remember everything that happened. There is a Tangia dungeon that is currently running. You cannot join it anymore. It's already full. But that is one of my favorite animations for the new dungeon. It's really cool looking. With that being said, for those that are curious, aloha from Honolulu. Hello, Mark Fowler. Welcome on in from Honolulu, Hawaii. One of my dream places to go to, but I'm going to Belize instead. So, as is Zion. Matt is going along as well this year. So it's going to be fun times. Thank you for the lurk, Steven the Shark. Thank you for being here. Steven the Shark, by the way, guys, Steven the Shark is running the Movember RPG. If you want chaos incarnate in a Movember in an RPG, 5th edition he's running, Steven the Shark, right there. Here's a clip of him doing Heroes of Arcadia, which he's going to run for some of us here coming up as well. I'm going to convince him to do it for Matt and Brian and a few others of our friends. I'm going to be like, run this for us, because we've been talking about it, been telling him about it and whatnot. So There is the one and only
Oh, boy,
Steven.
we're
The
gonna
Shark.
take some time
Running
for that
Heroes of
one. I'm gonna
Arcadia.
step
I
away.
am so upset.
I don't know what his
missed
schedule is. I don't know when his next
I don't
know
Movember
what I missed, but
RPG date is. But it's been a lot of fun. So Steven is, I think, in third place for Movember, right behind Roddy Mama, and I think a dash of Nerd are ahead of him. So if you can donate to him, feel free. And everybody who donates to Steven the Sharks gets in for the Movember RPG. So there you go. On his, he will run a game for you and or a group. And if he has too many people, he's going to have to do multiple groups. So that'll be fun. With that being said, again, this is the Old School 3. The premise of the Old School 3 is the three of us are playing ourselves. We've been playing ourselves in various games throughout history, whether it be Deadlands, Mutants and Masterminds, Dragon Age, Pathfinder, D&D. I even think there was a short stint where me and Matt did Star Wars for like a hot one shot. So we've played ourselves multiple times, and here's the thing. Our characters remember what we remember from those games, because those actually happened to these characters. They remember all of those things, all of those existences, and all of that. And here's the thing. They're not done. Those games still exist. They're still out there. They're still running. There are still things that are happening. And sometimes we see how that works, much like right now. Matt, Brian, and the other Brian sit in the realm of the Fae in front of Lady Tatiana as Oberon angrily, slowly sits down. And there's a pop-up. Mithril breastplate, bitch. Change my mind.
Mithril breastplate is the best breastplate.
Who redeemed that?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Oberon sits down in front of you all. As I recall, it is Matt from Deadlands. It is Nick from the World of Darkness. You also have Brian the Changeling from the World of Darkness, who really is skittish and wants to get the fuck out of there. And he's kind of not being allowed. And then you have Brian Fitzpatrick, who is also there. And Brian Fitzpatrick hasn't quite realized that Changeling Brian and he are the same. It works the other way. I think Changeling Brian realizes it because Brian Fitzpatrick just looks like an older version of Brian. You guys were out to try and figure out what it would be for magic to be removed from existence. The world to lose all magic. And somehow in your research you found out that for some reason in all of the existences, in all of the worlds, there is a version of the Fey realm. As Oberon sits down and he is staring a hole into Nick. And he looks at you while he goes, so you're trying to figure out what would take magic from the world, and you didn't want to seek me, you decided to seek my wife instead. How typical of your group.
Out of the two of you, she's the one that has tried to kill us less.
And he looks at you, Matt. Matt from Deadlands. And as he looks at you, you realize his body and form and kind of the world around shift enough for you to glance a perception. Do you have an idea what your knowledge skills are for Deadlands off the top of your head, roughly?
Yes, because knowledge was my casting mod, so it's a D12.
Okay, so I'm not going to have you roll anything, but you realize that as he's talking to you and the things he said, you realize you're not in the Fey realm. I mean, you are, but you are actually in the hunting grounds. You are talking to a being from the hunting grounds.
Even worse.
Yes. And as his body shifts, he's much scarier, much more terrifying. His skin is like a pale green.
Make no mistake about that man on the bottle of Captain Morgan. That man was a legend.
No legend. This guy's a legend. This Oberon is a legend. As you see, like, flesh of a rotted variety, you see like worms eating away at his flesh. Decay, rot. A stench kind of waves over you from him, and you can almost feel as though your essence is also kind of just rotting away. But the problem is that the others that are here, you kind of glance over at them as you like feel this, and you realize that their existence is anchoring you to a different version of this Fey realm. And it slowly shifts back because it's just a visual overlay for you.
Mm-hmm.
You see the hunting grounds, but you have a feeling that maybe if they weren't there, if the others in your group weren't there, you'd probably actually be in the hunting ground.
Okay.
And he goes, one of the ones who constantly seeks to overt our servitors.
I prefer humans living versus undead.
Oh, it's not all undead here. No, not at all. You see, once...
A lot of it is way fucking worse than undead. You are very fucking correct.
Once long ago, the realm of the dead were forced to collide with our first world. At least in what you see. And Nick, World of Darkness, Nick looks over and he's like, what are you talking about, hunting grounds? And he snaps his attention back to Nick. And he goes, the first world is an ever-shaping, ever-changing miasma. It's not governed by the reality of the world, but by its concepts of it. But we, the caretakers, we nobles, some might say, and he glances at you, Brian Fitzpatrick, can manipulate it based on its world's perceptions. Your multitude of existence may have many threads, but the Fae, we have one each, and they remain forever. Brian.
Yeah.
Realms traveler, knowledge of the planes. Very well understood with how multifaceted existences work. Your bardic knowledge tells you a couple of things with this interaction. One, when he's explaining the Fey realms, you realize that yes, he can die. In fact, Oberon has died. In many versions of many existences, he has probably died. In many of them, like in your world, he's just a minor deity. He's not even a bigwig in the realm of the Fae. He's just the Lord of the Beasts in Faerun, right? But he's still a major player. However, he's the same being that Matt is talking to in this other existence, where he is far more powerful and far more deadly. And
so he's
look
like
of it,
us.
He's like, the Fae are like the opposite of you.
Oh, okay.
Because as you are talking and you look at him, you actually see your Fae, the Forgotten Realms version of the Fae world.
Okay.
You actually see the Lord of the Beasts in front of you, shimmering, as though you're looking through a true sight. you realize
Okay.
that no matter what happens, while we have different versions of us, he is every version of him.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Which means the Fey realm is the same realm for all the realms, which you've already kind of established. You've kind of already figured out because it was the first world.
Sure. Okay.
It was the thing that existed before existence. It doesn't matter which religion you look at, all of them, every single one has this pre-existence that existed before everything of the material world came to be. With that being said, you also realize that if a Fey creature dies, say you kill a Fey noble in one world, as long as you stay in that version of the Fey world, they're not going to return. The laws of existence here, they have to stay that way, but they still exist. They just don't have that kind of interaction. It's very meta, if you will. But it tells you a little bit about its interaction with the real world.
Okay.
And World of Darkness, Brian, you're just scared shitless and they won't let you leave. But you're also scared to leave because if you leave and these guys aren't here to protect you, the second you get through a door, you don't know what's going to happen. So your only way of best means of survival is sticking with these guys who the Fae of the world are like, for some reason, not just tearing everything to shit.
And to be fair, in World of Darkness, the changelings are those that were kidnapped by the Fae.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's shitting bricks right now.
Yeah.
Just a hair. Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. So, Oberon says that, kind of giving you an exposition because that's what, assholes do. Give you that little exposition. But he also kind of answered a little bit of your question. And Tatiana just nods with agreement that he's telling the truth.
So, where I most recently resided, magic comes from this place. Is that true for all other worlds? Like if we're trying to find a world without magic, would that have to be a world that never had or somehow severed all ties to the first world? Like, how could that even be a thing?
Tatiana nods and goes, "Are you familiar with what a wall is?" And she's not saying it condescendingly. She's saying it in a kind of an ironic manner.
Yes, but I don't know how you could build a wall separating your world from any of the others.
She looks at you. Your world is separate from our world. Things can pass through, can they not? But they aren't all there. The horrors that you call aren't there on a day-to-day basis, correct?
In my world, it would be, if I'm guessing correctly, it would be the weave.
Okay, I see that. Yeah. So finding a way to completely shut it off,
Shut it off.
close and lock all the
So
doors.
the person to Oberon's left, another noble, looks at you and goes, "Yes, well, not quite. The world has its own magics. Always has, even in the before times. You, he with the green ring, you're talking about currently. But there was a long time where there was no magic in your world.
Mm-hmm.
But before that, there was. I even hear told that you've met such a person in the before times that could wield magic outside of the first world, outside of the hunting grounds. Is this true?
Perhaps, but it's so hard to know what might have made its way through the hunting grounds unnoticed and brought magic with them. Like, I would like to think that, yeah, we somehow had magic before, but I have no way to know 100%.
O'Brien goes, you did. Your world had magic. And then the world's gods took them away. It's simple as that. Power. The world's gods wants all the power. Why give mortals the magic when they can have it all, and then just sit idly by? Many of the worlds have done that. Shunted the magic.
Interesting.
The question you need to know is, where does that magic go?
If all
It doesn't die off in entropy with the rest of the universe? Or
Tatiana
the
goes,
heat death of the universe?
Tatiana looks and goes, energy is always energy. You cannot get rid of it. It always has to go somewhere. And magic so large, magic so strong, magic so all-encompassing that it's shunted from an entire world, that amount of magic often has a mind of its own.
So, just a quick question. Are we talking about if you take technology that's advanced high enough, it's indistinguishable from magic, and that's how magic has shaped its way back in? Or am I just like really, really overlooking it?
They all look at each other and they kind of chuckle. And they're like, so the handmaiden to the right of Tatiana, because the other two aren't even, they don't even want to respond, goes, you're trying to look too deep. I know that our people are often fond of riddles and twisting things, but they're being quite literal. There's no metaphor. Some worlds have had magic shunted from them entirely, thus blocking off most of the Fey world and its powers and magics. The worlds each of you are from have magics, but there are plenty that do not. And then they point to Brian and Brian Fitzpatrick. She does, and whispers something in Tatiana's ear, and Tatiana nods and looks over and goes, it's interesting how all of you are from a world with no magic, originally. Brian, you wake up. You remember everything because you made your save. Matt, Nick, you're both still asleep. It was a long day, but Brian had a good night's sleep. He remembers everything. No weird shit happened in the world and the realm of the Mammoth Lords in the place called, what is it? It's Twin
Thunder Peaks.
Thunder Peaks. Thunder Peaks. I wanted to say Twin Peaks. I'm like, nope, that's a TV show. That's a movie.
That would be a terrible place to be.
Thunder Peaks. Somebody got some magical armor in the Tenji dungeon. Some cool looking armor too. So yeah, you guys wake up and you remember. You agreed there's something more that needs to be done. There's a existential, like an outside threat that is threatening Thunder Peaks and possibly the world. And they've asked if you would stay just a bit longer and help out with that. And you all agreed. So you guys get ready for the day and you get breakfast and you're hanging out. Over the course of the next couple days, you slowly see literally armies of people rolling in. Outside of the wall, there is an encampment of people. And one of them, one of the encampments, you literally, like, you see, and it's a literal military. You look, it's probably at least 60 to 100 men marching in formation.
Is the tribal chief ladies people like trying to fight them off?
No, they've been welcomed.
Okay.
You also see that there's trading going on. There's people outside that are going out there to trade, people coming in to trade. It's getting very busy as people are working. And you realize whoever these people are probably allies for whatever this impending issue is.
Knowledge nobility or local to try to tell what any of the standards are to know who's
yes,
here?
Go ahead and roll your knowledge nobility.
I guess, would it be okay if I roll 2?
Yeah. You are more than welcome to.
19.
All right.
16.
You both realize. Sorry, something's not opening. You both realize that a lot of the flags are from the different organizations of the Pathfinders. Whether it be the Silver Lodge, all the different lodges. You see bandards and standards of that. But you do see another one that you have seen before. You see that it is one of the standard bearers is actually holding 2 flags. One is for a town, or one is for a country. They have the country of Ustalav flag. But the other one is an independent military. Basically a military for hire. Known as the Heartland Warriors. And the 2 of you can roll another knowledge, and you can do a knowledge nobility or local, should you choose.
My nobility is actually better than my...
And that's my nobility roll.
I did nobility as well.
You both recognize at the head of the army, the person that is in charge, you have met before. It's a little bit cloudy in your mind because you were under a alter memory for quite some time so that you would forget. But you do have those memories back, and you do remember there was a bard you met outside of the city of Corvosa. And he was kind of hiding, and he was the last of his hero group. They basically stopped and overthrew a tyrant.
Do I have his is he the one that I have his music books?
You do have his music books.
I'm trying to find his name now.
And you also got a sword because he was killed by some sort of giant scary monster that you guys couldn't even see in the dark. Something large and huge that came for him, and by that his sword. But didn't take the sword, only took a bag of teeth that he had on him.
Right.
that sword that you gained, you found out was an intelligence sword. And you dropped it off to that man. By request of the bard. To which you see he still holds that sword at his hip.
Nice.
Cool.
His name is Riley, as you recall. And you remember him as being one of the people that were wanted by the Pathfinders not too long ago. No longer so. Just like Balder and Frigga were also wanted.
So I'm gonna, in Pathfinder sign, go, so.
Just go. You're gonna leave the town and go out to the encampment out there, and he recognizes you, and he walks on over and holds out his hand to shake your hand.
I shake it.
Do you go with Matt?
I am not, because I want to actually see if any of the people that have been like recruited in the town or people that are in from the different Pathfinders groups.
Yeah.
I want to try to find someone that worships Iomade.
Oh, yeah. Funny enough, the guy that Brian's going to see has a big holy symbol of Iomade on him.
Oh, well then I guess I go to him. I will go out there.
Okay, yeah, he totally has a holy symbol of Iomade. Hello, Roddy Mama, welcome on in. Yeah. So the three of you just kind of approach him, and he's like, well, Matt, he's like, it's been a long time. I see you're faring well. He shakes all of your hands.
Yeah. I'm excited to get back home, but this feels like something that needs to be taken care of once and for all.
Yeah, we're pulling out all the stops. You guys know Dexter, right? He points.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
Dexter's calling in all of the reinforcements, everybody he can. So we're all here to help in whatever way we can.
So looking over at Dexter, I kind of look back at Riley and like, so
You don't see
everything's
Dexter.
o-
You don't see Dexter.
Oh, okay.
He
Well, hearing that name, I was
he
like,
just drops the name
so-
that you guys know Dexter. Yeah.
everything's okay now.
Oh, we haven't even started. We've still got a hike. We got to get over to Jormungandr over in the World Wound, from what I understand.
No, I meant you. Last time I heard, you're being hunted.
Oh, yeah, that was just a misunderstanding. Yeah, I mean, you can
Sorry.
take that however you want to take it. You can use inside knowledge.
I laugh because when it comes to people of his caliber, misunderstandings are rarely minor misunderstandings. So, just in general.
He goes, there's just there were some people in place that were in charge that shouldn't have been in charge, and they weren't good people, and we fixed all that, and now there are good people doing the best they can to make things right. And this is a good start for it. I mean, we closed the World Wound. Now I guess we get to go back in there. Yay, my homeland, but not really. It feels like my homeland, he says.
Spent a lot of time there then.
I spent many years in the Crusades there.
Uh,
And he
That
kind of
was-
looks down because he's literally got badges of honor from the Crusades. He's got like 3 or 4 of them that he wears.
and then is that where you found? And then I just point to his holy symbol.
Yes. Well, it was a bit before that. I was part of a military organization for the Crusades and was a very devout follower. Things happened and I stepped away for a short time. And have once again realized that I am only human and make mistakes. And yeah, it was a little bit before then. And I have never been stronger with the faith than I am now.
Oh. Perhaps during the travels we could talk about
Yes, of
Sure.
course. Of course.
ideals.
For sure. Is there anything you guys need while you're here? You know, Mordock told me some of the good stuff you guys did for him. I've got a
I
wedding
spit on
coming.
the ground and stomp on the spit mark.
He looks down, and then he pauses, and he looks at you, and he looks at all of you, and you see a momentary reflection. It looks like he's thinking about something. And he says he's sorry and had no idea what was going on. There was he had a curse that automatically teleported anybody who uses magic to transfer to the plane of fire. He said it has long since been fixed, and he's hoping to make it up to you. He didn't know about it. He's like, sorry, I got him in my brain.
You what now?
We have a mental link.
Oh.
He will be here eventually, but I think he's meeting us in Jormungandr. He's got to put his family first, as much as he can, and then he'll be there.
I'd like try to on the sly Pathfinder sign to Nick and Brian, and I'm like, Mordock, in your head, that must be like a porno running 24 hours a day in subtitles.
And Riley goes, oh no, I can block him out now.
And I give Matt a look like,
because he's a Pathfinder.
you realize he can understand you, right? Like,
I don't know, he's really good at perception, so it's just like trying to do it on the side so you guys could see, but not him.
Yeah, but I wasn't like, I'm not even gonna have you roll. Like I could, but you know.
There's no point.
Is
I checked.
Riley
My
known
sleight of
for,
hand
like,
isn't
his
that good.
archery?
What's that?
Is Riley known? Like, is
Yes.
his name kind of known for his archery?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. He shoots things from far away, so he must have poor eyesight. Anyway.
He's like, I can hear really well too.
And then I look at Matt like,
Try.
It's all right. He's like, I don't have like sonar, but you know, might as well be. But I have a wedding coming up, and I'd love if you guys could help out.
I mean, I guess.
There's a lot of preparation stuff, and the basic soldiers I don't think could necessarily prep and search and make sure certain areas are safe. And we've had issues with weddings in the past, so we're kind of taking away all stops. You'd be paid handsomely for it.
so we're just like problem solvers for the wedding, so to
Like
speak?
security? Or like...
We shouldn't need security. It's kind of, if you can be there beforehand, we have some tasks that we'd like to do with people that we trust. Carrion Hill has a lot of underground chambers and a lot of stuff going on. And before the wedding, we'd like to meek out anything that might come slithering up from the underground, if you know what I mean.
Out of question character, is Carrion Hill in the World Wound area?
No, it's in Ustalov.
Okay. So we need to head south?
Eventually. Yeah. After this is all done, if you could come and help out. Like I said, you'd be paid handsomely for it. Chat redeems mythic point / inspiration for not the GM.
Not the GM.
Somebody roll me a die 3. Somebody roll me a die 3.
Brian.
Chat redeems mythic point / inspiration. 2 of them, not the GM. Roll me a die 3. Either Matt, Brian, or Nick, not the GM. Nick, get it.
I'll roll.
All right. And then do it again.
I got it.
Yep.
For the second one here. Oh, well, there you go.
Boy, did that kick Sunstrider right in the nards.
No, Sunstrider knew your dice luck and figured you needed it.
That's funny. I think his intent was not me, so I'm just going to give them to each of you. Give each of you one.
Oh, okay.
You guys each get one. I'm pretty sure that was his intent, was to give each of you a mythic point and not
Thank
me.
you, Sunstrider.
Thank you.
You're awesome.
He says, yes, that was the intent. I just thought it was funny that it rolled a 3, and it was like, well, it's not for the GM, it's for the character, Nick. But I knew what you meant. I thought that'd be just funny to roll with it. He asked you if there's anything else, anything you guys need between now and then. He's like, we have a few days before A, we head out, and B, we get to our destination.
Out of character, did we get paid for doing the gig for the chieftain?
Yes.
We did.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, that must be where that's from. Okay, never mind. Yeah, maybe just some time to rest up, and we've had a busy couple of days.
Oh yeah, I just meant he goes, yeah, just in general, I meant if you needed anything. Feel free to come chase me down if you need something. I'll be around. It shouldn't be too hard to see.
Actually, and I look at you two, after this was all done, that's when we were going to get teleported back home, right? To Andoran. I'm thinking a horse might be nice, but I don't want to buy another horse that I'm going to have to leave in another city once again.
Well, I suppose, but at the same point, I've got that place that's eventually going to be bequeathed to me up here too.
Oh, that's true. I forgot you took that.
Well, and we also have the place in Thrushmore that we own as well.
We have a lot of homes. You know what we should do?
And
work on
and Dexter goes, oh, Thrushmore's not too far away from my place. It's like a day, maybe 2 days travel.
Yeah, I mean, hey.
I'm assuming you'll be heading there after this?
Yes, I'll be going straight there.
Yes, maybe I will just buy another horse. I'm going to search to find another horse and saddle and all that.
And he goes, we have some extra. A lot of my guys don't use horses, except for long distance traveling, and we have some to spare. So if you want to just borrow some of ours.
Oh, that'd be great. Yeah, I just would like to ride to wherever we're going rather than trudge.
Yeah, we'll be good. You'll be good. We got you covered. He pats you on the back. Just check your horse pocket, Sunstrider.
Yes.
Can you check your horse pocket? Skeet up, beat up, horse pocket.
Good old horse pocket.
Sorry, let me.
It's all right.
How much is that? Oh, that's way too much. Okay, I was tempted to get Matt, trying to see if I could get Matt a gift, but it's way too pricey for what we've got. So.
Sounds good.
Well, it's the thought that counts. Thank you, Brian.
I mean, if we tap into the group funds, we could get him one, but it wouldn't help the rest of us.
You guys continue the rest of your day. And it's mostly uneventful. You relax if you want to do shopping or whatnot. That's all open. for whatever you guys need. We can also retroactively, down the road say you guys purchased whatever. This is your time to kind of get whatever. The price point on the city has gone up over this point in time because people coming in with items and gear and stuff that they can buy and sell and trade. So if there are things that you want, you have better chances of finding it now because of just the influx of people that are coming in and going. And then you guys eventually will end up traveling to the location of this battle. And you really get this feel of war. Like, you guys have been in battles before. All of your versions of you have been in battles, you have been in fights, but they're usually group fights. Very rarely is it you guys being part of an army, especially like some of you maybe have led them but still been your own group. This is the first time that you feel like you're actually just a cog in the wheel that is an army moving for a battle where the plans, you're not sure all of the overall plans, you're not sure of the details, you're not sure of the higher muckety mucks of the people that have to do like some of the major stuff, all of that. Items in Thunder Peaks. Oh, there we go. So those are the permanent items that are actually listed for sale there. And then if you think of other stuff, chances are a good chance of finding items. Hello,
Hey,
Alana.
Matt,
Halo, welcome on in.
Silver Raven.
What's that?
I said Matt could get his Silver Raven.
He could.
Oh, I could.
And yeah, you travel horseback. The Heartland Warriors borrow you guys 3 horses to use on the transfer. But yeah, it's just this army moving to Jormungandr. And somewhere in the back recesses of your mind, you think, with all of these powerful people, can't they just teleport? Can't they just use magic to make it quicker? At one point in time, and as you travel, the group gets larger. It'll either merge in with another traveling group that's going part of the thing, or you'll find people come in. You'll see people fly in. Like at one point, you actually see Mordok fly in overhead in his winged form. And you guys are walking along or riding the horses along, and they call for camp, and everybody breaks to make camp, right? And you guys have camping supplies. If not, the Heartland Warriors kind of take you in to camp with them. And you actually do see Dexter out somewhere. So if you do want to hunt Dexter down, you are more than welcome to catch him and find him to talk to him about whatever you'd like. You also see the Wizard Maractus, who is in the town you stayed in, which is another town that you have open welcome to stay in whenever you want, in Viston's Pond.
I would like to go over and visit with him.
Okay. He's sitting on a rock feeding a squirrel a bunch of seeds. He's just got like a bunch of little seeds, and there's like a little squirrel, and he's like, "There you go, buddy. All this food, you want to take their food? That's all right. We got some food for you."
I'll like lean over towards the squirrel and say, "Take it all. That's a squirrel's life for you."
It skitters off. Roll your perception, Brian.
Oh, roll. Let's see. 12. Okay. Shazam. 17.
The last time you saw Maractus, he was how you remember him. he looks healthier to you.
Okay.
He just looks healthier. He doesn't look quite as pale. He doesn't look quite as frail. He doesn't look as weak. He looks stronger, a little bit more lithe, a little bit more healthier, or more healthy. I guess healthier isn't a word, but he looks a little bit more healthy.
Gotcha.
And he looks up at you and he goes, "Ah, my friend Brian the Scald, how are you?"
I'm good, and yourself?
"I'm doing fine. Looking forward to the things that are to come."
Yeah. Looks like it's well, looks like exciting things are happening.
It's going to be a challenge, that is for sure. It's all hands on deck, you know.
So we've been told.
Do you know much of the world wound?
Big rift to the abyss that tore through the old country of Sarkoris,
That is true. That is correct.
and that's I believe Pathfinder types closed it down a little while back.
Yes, a group of them did. Much to the dismay of many, but they did succeed in closing the world wound. Saving hundreds and thousands of lives, many crusaders gone home to their families that they haven't seen since they were children. However, what we face could have the potentiality to reopen the world wound in its entirety.
They kind of left out that part. What? Who's trying to do that?
That remains to be seen. The Pathfinders are keeping a little bit more of a closed mouth to those of us who are not among their ranks. I could hazard a few guesses, but I will choose not to do so. Sometimes my guesses, on rare occasion, have been wrong, and things are all the worse when that happens. How about you? Tell me about life since you've left Biston's Pond. I myself have only been back a few times.
We have actually haven't been back there for a bit. Haven't been back there yet since we had left, as if I recall. Sorry for Brian.
Yep,
It's
you're correct.
been a bit, but
You're correct.
we've done a little privateering. Some sailing, some horrible, visited a horrible circus thing of horribleness. Helped the local chieftain potentate with her drug den issues. You know, just same old stuff.
Excellent. And now that I recall, I believe I saw you in Thrushmore, did I not?
Yeah. Yes, actually, we were there.
However, Brian, you and Nick do not remember seeing Ractus. Only Matt remembers seeing them. Because that was during the time twisty stuff.
Okay.
But you were there, so yeah. And that's all you said. You said, yeah, we were there. Yes, I remember the conversation I had with the three of you. And the lady of Thrushmore as well, I believe, was there. You seem confused.
Yeah, I don't know. I look over at Matt and Nick. Was I drinking or something?
I don't think Matt and Nick came with you. Did you go with Matt? Yeah, Matt didn't go with.
I did not.
Nick didn't go with.
I apologize, Maractus. It's a little fuzzy.
It might have been some time remembering things, but I do remember you. You guys were fighting the good fight, from what I understand. You didn't mess with those Star Stellae, did you?
Uh, Not that I recall.
Good. Stay away from those. Messing with those brings nothing good. I have warned.
That's
I have warned the dangers of them to the owner of the town. I told him to keep them quite under wraps.
I look over at Nick and Matt to nod, like, okay, that's good to know. Star Stellar
Again,
bad.
Nick and Matt aren't with you. You're by yourself, buddy.
Oh, sorry. I thought, okay. I'm sorry. I thought the three of us were there together.
Nope. You
But I'll
walked
make a
up.
note of it now. I'll make a note of it.
Excellent.
Star Stellar bad.
Well, I am quite certain that you and I will cross paths again. Possibly on this venture, even.
Well, I don't know exactly. I mean, other than what you've told me here, I don't, necessarily know what our role will be in it. But us, we're always happy to help.
I will talk to Dexter and his companions and see what role they can fill for you. And
Sounds like a plan.
I'm sure either Dexter himself or myself or someone else from that group will come and give you your roles.
Yeah, well, that sounds like Dexter, so that's probably a good idea. Sometimes I feel like they just tell us where to go and we take care of it. Like Fates has plans for us.
Oh, you have no idea.
Oh, see, now when you say stuff like that, you make me want to drink.
You are more than welcome to drink. By the way, those are new. By what form of metamagic, arcane transmutation did you acquire those? You see, he's referencing your wings that you didn't have in Biston's Pond.
Oh, yes. Well.
Or are they from? I can see they're not from a magical item. It looks like they are permanently affixed to you. They're not an illusion or an altered form.
Nope, they are me, full and whole. Yeah. Well, let's just say if fate keeps tapping us to do stuff, every once in a while we'll tap fate back.
I see what you're saying. Well, congratulations. They are gorgeous. Do you molt? I'm curious.
I probably do to some extent.
You haven't had it long enough to know, I guess.
Well, I mean, every once in a while some feathers will fall off, but I guess maybe not.
Like he stands up and he starts like looking you over, and like every once in a while he's like, "Here, stretch it out a bit. What is your full wingspan?"
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you didn't have them before, and magic didn't create them.
Right.
That is, he wants to know.
Absolutely. Well, and you know what? If I have any, like, I'll even kind of do the little sort of shimmy shake thing with the wings, just to see if any of the feathers tend to drop out.
Yeah, they do the little tufts and stuff. Yeah, none of the big ones, but.
And I'll scoop scoop them up and kind of hand them over to him if he's like, for your investigative purposes.
Oh, that would be excellent. Thank you. Matt, what do you do on the day of camping? And you've been talking to Riley about Ioma Day. What kind of things do you ask him on the travels?
Just basically a lot of what her faith feels like to him, and like what draws him to it. And like I'll probably ask that to like other people that I see have holy symbols of Ioma Day.
So for him, it started as a deity of combat, of war. And as he talks about her, he explains you put the pieces of the puzzle together that he had lost faith because of a trial, something that happened to him that ousted him from the military, that made him quit the military. He wasn't ousted, he quit, which caused him to join the Pathfinders. And he was still a worshiper, but the more that time went on, the more he began to resent that she wasn't there for that moment. And it wasn't up until he was wanted. You guys mentioned that to him, that he was wanted and he had left because he had felt he had failed miserably. When it was all set up to begin, like they set him up to fail, the people that were in charge, that you, and his resentment towards her was always that she wasn't there when he felt he needed her, except for that's actually when she showed up, when he was at his lowest point in his life, when he was ready to just give everything up and just quit. And in hindsight, he realized that she was there
Like,
the entire time.
She can't pull out her chair.
We got a raid coming in, and May.
He doesn't get up to get her chair ready.
There's a shouty out, a little clippy clip.
Go hem your shirt.
Reality show Sunday, I believe. Sits back and does some watching of the reality shows live here on stream. Been doing a lot of Stardew Valley and Palia. I've been doing Palia. I'll be doing Palia again on Friday. So yeah, welcome on in, Raiders. Welcome on in, May. How are you doing? Welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for that raid. How is your stream? How is the games? Thank you so much. My shirt is what? Wait, my shirt is as? Wait, what? You can't even see my shirt. What's going on? Uber cozy stream. I love the uber cozy stream. That's one of the things I loved about Peleus, because it was just chill and laid back. You were quoting the clip. Okay, I got you. It's like, what are you talking about? My shirt. Can't even see my shirt. Guys, if you don't know May, go and check May out. May is part of our Movember team, doing all of the things, raising funds for Movember. And if you want to see the entire team of Movember streamers, there they are. There's the entire list of Movember streamers right there. Check them all out. Every member of the Movember team has a piece of a puzzle as well. Ask them about the piece of the puzzle. I believe Maze is actually on her Movember page. Hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge to everyone doing it. Mine's right here. Mine's right there on that link. If you want to get the Mo puzzle, you can get the puzzle right there. But welcome on in. Thank you. Hello, Stressico. Is it Stressica? Stressica? Like Jessica, but Stressica? Let me know. But welcome on in. Thank you so much for being here. Yes, Movember puzzle on my Mo page, perhaps. On her Mo page. Go and check it out. Uh-oh. Got to do the little raccoon. Pedro. Thank you, Steven the Shark. May, did you see the episode with him and the rat? Rolana Halo wants to know. Rolana Halo loves also the some of those reality shows. But yeah, go and check out May 7733. Amazing streamer, lots of fun. Does all kinds of crafting. Goes to conventions, all kinds of stuff. Go and check her out. Also does some, I believe, May, you've done some role playing, right? Those that are joining us, we are role playing. This is our most interactive RPG. Feel free to interact. We talk with the chat. We have channel point redeemed. We have all kinds of stuff here for you to do things. Also, guys, over on Kick there, we also had somebody come in. That's a bot. You know what we do to bots? We banned them. We banned the bots. We don't have a bot counter today, but we do have the banned bot song. Do you guys want to listen to the banned bot song, Matt, Brian?
Yes.
Sure.
Let's do it.
We banned the bots, and we listened to the banned bot song. We say goodbye to the bot over on Kick. not in our community.
Your code is weak, no soul. You're not clever, assholes. Your cheap tricks we defy. See your bots goodbye. Hey, bots, you're done. Go ahead and run. Spamming lies we see, not in our community.
Of course, if you want the full song, we have it on our Discord. You can listen to the entire thing on over there. That's just 2 parts of it. So thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you again, May, for the raid. Go and give her a follow and go and watch that reality. I have a feeling that, May, you might have a new fan in Rolana Halo. So that song slap, it's great. I love it. If you want to use it, May, you're more than welcome to use it. I had it created. I am willing to share it. So if you want to use it for your band bots, feel free. That goes for any other streamer out there. If you want to use the band bot song, I am more than willing to share it with our community so that they can use it as well. So with that being said, anyone who likes my trashy reality TV is family. I sometimes, like, if I'm like feeling like, if it's a Sunday and I'm just chilling and I'm doing other stuff, I'll have May up on the background. I'll just listen to the trashy reality TV just because it's fun. It's fun. It's more fun to listen because May will pause the show and chat about whatever you're seeing. So yeah, it's fun times. It's fun times. Get on over there. Get on over there. So, with that being said, Matt, we were doing something with you, Matt.
Yeah. So I was just working with some of the Iomade followers,
Right.
just seeing what they like about the faith. Also, we do have a +2 longsword in our group loot. I think I'm going to see if I can get some lessons on how to use a longsword,
Yeah.
as I don't have martial weapon proficiency.
Yes. A lot of them can teach you. A lot of them, that's not necessarily their strong suit, but they are soldiers, so they all can use a sword. But they are, they've got proficiency with longsword, but they've got feats for their bows for the most part.
Mhm.
Not all of them. There are a group of them that are there for that. Like the lieutenants, he's got a couple lieutenants. One of the lieutenants actually wields a great sword. So they do have people that can teach you how to wield a longsword as well. So yeah, they will do that, and yeah, you will learn. And so for him, it started off as he worshipped her as the god of war, but now he reveres her almost as like a matron, like like if you grew up in a church and like a Catholic church, and there's a nun there, the matron of the church, and you look up to that matron, like the mother, like a lot of people would look up to Mother Teresa back in the day, sort of that sort of a feel where he almost reveres her less as a warrior goddess and more of his guiding light in the world. But a lot of them, they do revere her as a warrior, as a strategist, as a the honor, being a leader. And that's also, you see a lot of the qualities of the followers that follow the band, the organization. That's actually almost all of them across the board. They follow Riley for the same reasons they worship Iomade.
Okay.
Makes sense.
But he's the only one that really reveres her in a I hate to say the word love, but love like a brother, love like a family member, like a grandmother or a mother sort of feeling, a matronly in the heart sort of love. He's the only one that seems to revere her in that sort of way, and not in any way, shape, or form in a romantic way, just in a platonic, you are the one that is the reason for my existence sort of devotion.
Okay.
My connection to the server has been interrupted. Everything will go away. Okay, let's hit refresh, I guess.
Yeah, I think Roll20 just went down.
Okay, well, it's a good thing.
I got it too, so not just you.
Okay. Well, we'll leave it there, and I clicked refresh. Maybe I'll just click. I don't dare click stop on the refresh now.
Yeah.
In the evening, you actually gateway timeout. Oh, excellent.
Yeah, it just had a spike, so I'm assuming there's something going down with it.
I'm glad I have a VPN so that IP address that it just shared on screen doesn't mean nothing.
Oh,
Foundry doesn't have that issue. That's not true. It went down when we played the first time we played. I couldn't log in, so don't tell me it doesn't go down. Because no one is there. Oh, Rolando Halo with the slap. It doesn't go down because nobody uses it.
Oh shit.
Oh man. Destroyed.
oh, that is vicious.
Wrecked.
Well done, Rolando. Well done.
Lies. I mean, everybody I know uses Roll20. Steven the Shark's the only one that uses Foundry. Don't get me wrong, Foundry is really cool. There's a lot of really cool features that Foundry has. But yeah. Yeah, no, hold on. I'm trying to find, I gotta find a substitute image or something to pull up while that's
Not working.
not working. Yeah. Well, it'll just have to be a black screen for now. Roll20 is better for Heroes of Arcadia. Fair enough.
Well, so quick question while you're looking at an image or whatever. You can't see in the dark, can you, Nick?
No, Nick cannot see in the dark.
So Brian and I can.
Correct.
Do you have an eye slot item? Because Thunder Peaks had goggles that give you low light vision, which, I mean, it isn't dark vision, but it's better. I mean, I guess you have a flaming sword if it gets dark. So that
Yeah, I have a flaming sword. That's why he hasn't gotten anything.
Yeah, no,
that.
I guess that makes sense. And you know, just like Batman has Robin wearing bright colors to draw attention, I'm fine slinking around in the darkness while you have a flaming sword.
It's true. It's true. Is there anything else you'd like to do, either of you, for that evening?
I think just talking about people about Iomedae and then practicing to learn how to use a longsword are probably the biggest things for me.
All right. Brian, anything else you wanted to do that evening or leading up?
Honestly, I think I'd probably just kind of, I think maybe travel around a little bit from like fire pit to fire pit and like play some songs and just entertain people and keep things lively because
Yeah,
we're potentially about to get in some crazy shit. Try to keep things upbeat.
So, Brian, it wasn't your intent to get completely shit-faced. But there might have been a person that was there that really was an enabler, much like Nick is an enabler, that really got you to have a few more in the night. You don't remember, you don't remember what happened for much of that night, and not because of whatever's been going on for you for getting the night. You just don't remember because you had so much to drink.
That's fair. That is fair.
You guys in the evening, you guys, or the next morning, you guys are sitting over breakfast, and Nick looks at you guys and goes, "So I got an interesting visit last night."
Oh,
From
My tent went completely black with shadows scattering in places there shouldn't be shadows because there's a permanent torch outside my tent. And even that was shrouded out by shadows and darkness. And all I heard was the words, "You lost my token. You're going to need to get it back." All of them.
yeah, that's been on my mind for a while too.
And I'm sorry, but having Norgorber come into your tent in the middle of the night while you're about to go to sleep, that's
Terrible.
wait
yeah.
a second. And now Brian's trying to run through the blackout drunkenness,
Yep.
wondering if he was like drinking with.
You totally realize that you're like, oh, he just had a different outfit and his hair was a different color, but he was the same motherfucker. Yeah.
So that was.
Yeah,
Okay.
it totally was.
Well, that makes way more sense now.
And the irony of it is that Dexter had walked by multiple times and didn't even realize he was there.
Nice.
And the best part is because Dexter is like a big devotee to Caden Kalian.
Yeah.
And didn't even see him. Like they were arms reach apart and didn't even know. Well, and actually, you remember, Caden knew. Because every once in a while, Caden would be like, as soon as his back would turn, Caden would like make some sort of gesture to him. But Dexter had no idea.
Awesome.
And you almost, the hindsight, you're like, is there an inside joke here that we're not getting? Is there an inside joke between these two? And out of character, the inside joke is Dexter has been by Caden Kalian about a dozen times and never known it. It's happened many times and it's hilarious. So I'm just keeping that joke going.
Mm-hmm.
Love it.
And of course, I mean, Matt's already roleplayed it. He knows he was really interactive with Aomade last night.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not specifically, but enough so that she didn't feel she needed to warrant saying hello.
Makes sense.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I'll just kind of like, once that whole like thing kind of processes, I'll just kind of look up and be like, nice.
Hello, Chav. Welcome on into chat, by the way. So yeah, the next day goes, from what you hear, you've probably only got another day worth of travel before you guys are ready and going to be started getting set up for everything.
Is the goal to help out with the wedding prior to this battle or after the battle?
After.
Okay. I just didn't.
He expects it's not going to be for like months.
Okay.
Coming down the road. So.
Gotcha.
Like he's literally sending out invitations now.
Sure.
Of which he didn't give you guys invitations.
Because we're the hired help. We don't get invitations.
Right.
We just get paid.
Right. So yeah. And as soon as you get to a certain point, you realize something in the world of magic is off.
Spellcraft or like arcane or something to try to figure it out.
What is your skill at?
Spellcraft's a 17. A knowledge arcane is a 23, and I get a free inspiration point when I use it.
You couldn't make it if you rolled a nat 20 and spent mythic points.
Okay.
You just know that something is off. You guys start to make camp. And you see people are getting commands, people are getting told what to do, getting set up, what their plans are. You actually see Riley instructing all of his people. They've got like a place mapped out, and they're like, actually, he's telling people where to be placed and where they're going to be situated. You see other groups of Pathfinders getting put into groups and organizations and putting, very similar. There's little planning tables all over the place. You see runners going from table to table. They're from tent to tent doing stuff. Nobody has spoken to you yet. And it's just the three of you are sitting there, like outside of your tent, like having, lunch, watching everything unfold. And every once in a while, you kind of look at each other, and Nick pours himself some more coffee.
So, what do you think they're going to have us do?
I have no idea.
Nick goes, "We don't even know what we're doing here."
Oh, I know a little bit, not much. Actually, very little. Maractus told me a little bit, something about someone's trying to open up the world wound again.
What?
Yeah, sorry, I would have told you sooner, but I got like blackout drunk with Caden Kalian, so at least I'm pretty sure it was Caden Kalian. Granted, it was a lot of booze.
An endless amount, one might say.
Yeah, apparently.
Also, you had no
apparently
hangover the next morning, so you got that going for you.
I mean, I'm feeling pretty good, but it just, there are bits I forget, like all the drinking.
So I got that going for me, which is nice.
Which is nice.
And actually, come to think of it, and probably look to see if there's a couple of lipstick marks. It's like he's a pretty good wingman too. But
It's at that moment that you see Dexter approach you and sit down next to you all. How are you guys doing?
Good. Are you here to give us our assignment?
Yes and no.
okay.
You're going to be kind of backup for a lot of people. You have a lot of knowledges and experiences amongst the three of you, some of which we don't even understand. I've spoken with Maractus. I've spoken to a few others as well. And we think that your best skills, your best assets, will be in aiding people with problems that they don't have answers to. However, Our original plan was to give you magics to be able to get to the places you need to be. However, teleportation magic is not working at all right now. We're stuck. No
just
shadow.
Teleports or any
interdimensional travel. From what we understand, even your bags of holding don't work.
Oh, well, that.
So fast horses.
Fast horses and flying. Okay.
We do have communiques set up. So we're going to have you in direct contact with some of the group leaders throughout, and we'll have you set up to help with those group leaders in mental command. And if we need to get you to the groups, we will get you to the groups, but you more or less will be our part of our think tank, our problem solvers. You will be giving knowledge and aiding them from a distance through a mind link.
Okay.
It's not ideal. It doesn't put you in the front lines where I'm sure you'd like to be, but it's where you will be the most useful. You guys can go ahead and roll a sense you can go ahead and try and roll a sense motive.
I'm just gonna roll dice if that's all right.
No, that's perfectly fine.
I have to find a dice to roll.
Well, what's your highest? Can you guys get above a 40?
A 40? Well, let's see. 10,
Nope.
22.
I can get a 39.
Not when I roll a 3 on the die. 25.
And yeah, that's what he says. He's like, we're going to have Maractus come by later on, and he's going to help you with that magic we're talking about.
Okay.
Is there anything you guys think you will need?
Well, I know you said we don't, we're not going to be in the front lines, but do you have any blessed weapon oils just in case something from the front lines finds us? Something that might.
We can get some to you.
Good. Because I have some, but it's in my bag of holding, which you said does not work.
Yeah, correct. We have some people hoping that they can take that down and get that fixed. But we've got a lot of moving parts to this, and I don't want to divulge too much information. Keeping the stuff separate for safety.
No, it makes sense.
All right. He gets up.
Oh, sorry. I guess maybe one thing. If we're gonna need to be mobile to be the problem solvers, but we can't teleport, maybe some. Do you know if anyone's got a handle on like potions or a wand of flying or anything like that?
We'll get you set up with a couple potions of haste.
That'll work too.
Yep.
He's like, actually, and he pulls out of his pocket. He's like, actually, here. He hands you his wand. This is my haste wand.
Oh.
It's got, I believe, 32 charges on it.
Oh shit. Okay.
Nice.
Does he give that to me then, or?
Yeah, because you're the one that said it.
Okay.
He's like, you guys can use it, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He nods. He's like, all right.
And I apologize. You said 32 charges?
Yeah, 32.
Okay. And that would normally be a 5th level caster for a wand?
I believe so.
Okay.
And he's like, and don't forget your horses. Feel free to use the horses and put the haste on the horses, not yourselves, if you need. Because horses go faster than people.
That they do.
Although, Brian, what's your fly speed?
It was the same as my walking speed, so it's
Right.
30.
Okay.
So
So
it's
you're not so much more than. Excellent. He goes, all right. He's like, we're gonna have you, and he tells you a location. We're gonna have you guys hold up there. It's kind of our information, one of our 3 information centers. We don't want to put all of our think tanks in one spot. for fear we get some back attacks, but we're gonna guys put you there, all right?
That works.
We'll see you in the morning
Sounds
at
like a plan.
sunset or sunrise. And he gets up and leaves.
Brian, do you have any magic that makes it so you don't have to sleep?
Nope.
Okay.
With that
I mean,
being
I
oh, go ahead.
I can do a song of marching, but that doesn't really.
Yeah.
That's not quite what we want it to be in that particular regards.
No, it is not.
Oh, actually.
All right. So people scatter. People are all over the place setting up, getting ready. You see people cleaning weapons, sharpening weapons, sorting out magical gear. You see a lot of people trading magical components for things. You see every you're like, oh, there goes Cleo. Oh, there goes, everybody. Everybody that you guys have ever met that's part of the thing, you see all of them there. You even see you see a person walking by talking to a goat that's talking back. And then you realize that goat used to live in Biston's Pond. It's the same goat. They called it Cheese.
That.
But the goat's actually talking.
I'm gonna do like a 360 around me all of a sudden just to see if Kate and Kaylee's still there and that I'm actually still drinking.
Nope.
And then be like, did the goat talk? Did you hear that?
Nick goes, all the goats talk to me.
Yeah, good point.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's no, like Nick didn't notice the difference because the goat walks by saying stuff, he hears it, he understands. It's you guys. But you guys heard the goat talk.
Bizarre.
Right? So yeah, you see everything. You see a guy that can change from, can change into rock and lava. I think lava.
What?
Yeah.
Effectively, yeah.
Yeah, you guys see all of the characters that you know of. You see Balder, Frigga are like getting their armies put together and they're instructing them like, you guys got to run shit, but we are going to be with another group, but you guys run shit because we're going to be over here doing shit.
I go to Balder and I give him back his bottle of air.
Okay. He takes it and thanks you.
Oh yeah, was there anything else we had borrowed from anyone that we can? I don't remember.
You actually do see, and I'm not gonna role play for Mordok, but I am gonna say that he does make an attempt to come to you guys and apologize in person. Thank you, Lyric Lost, 37 months, the one and only Lyric Lost, the purveyor of song, the Muppet song. Welcome on in. But yeah, he does make an attempt to mend the fence with you and apologize, which you can tell is really difficult for him.
Mm-hmm.
But he's trying to learn to apologize and take some responsibility for shit. So, Alana says that Balder says thank you for returning his stuff.
I just saw it on my sheet and I'm like, oh, that means I never did give it back. I should make sure it's easy.
The blind GM says I rolled a 37 on my diplomacy.
I think he forgot his headband. He should re-roll.
Like, I can't control how you guys think and how you guys feel. but he's done a handful of things, and you guys know what happened and why, and that it wasn't like him personally, and you've heard it from multiple sources that you trust that like.
Yeah, it's not like he was trying to kill us.
Yeah,
even
he was
though it
not
just
trying to kill you,
felt
even
like
though
he was
at the
trying to
time it seemed like it. For sure.
I will then accept his apology.
Yeah. Nick
I'll
accepted it.
I'll accept his apology, but I'm going to throw out a condition.
Yeah.
We appreciate that you're trying to make amends. I'm going to say let's even pay it forward a little bit. Since there were 3 of us that were endangered by the curse and effects of your actions, I suggest you make a donation to the Pathfinders. Since we know you're a wealthy man, maybe a grand each is consider it like a donation for call it crap. What's the term I'm thinking of here? Think of it as like a college fund for new burgeoning Pathfinders. You do that, I'll call her good.
Blind GM, while I don't want to play for you, I'm going to for a moment. He throws back a caveat. How about we open an orphanage in your name? In Thrushmore. To help people that are shunted from the incidences that have occurred.
Deal, and I offer my hand.
Because I'm pretty sure if he would have thought about that, he would have done it. So hopefully he's okay with me saying that, with me stepping in on his behalf.
I'm totally happy with an orphanage.
It's going to be the Bryan Center for Kids Who Can't Read Good and want to learn to do other stuff good too.
We need an acronym, an acronym. What is it? An acronym, right?
Yep.
We need an acronym for that. Somebody clip that so we can put it together and figure out what the acronym would be.
Love it.
He isn't sneaky or crafty enough to pull it off. Oh, to pull off getting the soul. Ah, that's freaking hilarious. All right. So, the next day rolls around. Everybody is ready for war. Everybody is together. The Bryan Center for Kids Who Can't Read Good and who want to learn to do other stuff good too. I don't even know. The Bikabaukubai, what he couldn't allow them, but who get that? Or skida. Except for good is spelled G-U-D. It's just shortened the Center for Kids. Sorry, I'm just laughing over that.
I put a tab in on our group loot sheet to put that in there, so it's now.
There you go, Matt. No
Nice.
child left behind.
Oh.
So, everybody collects and everybody is getting ready for battle, for this fight. You're not quite sure exactly all the things that are going to be. When you hear a magical resonance come out over the giant crowd. And you see a person. You see a gentleman that you've only met once or twice. You know him as Venture Captain Ambrose Velson. Attention! Captain Ambrose Velson's commanding voice snaps you from your daze. He shouts to be heard over the ambient thrumming of the huge monolith that's next to him, a ward stone. One of these ward stones were the only levee that held back the tide of demons from washing over all the countries surrounding what was once the World Wound, now known as the Sarkorian Scar. We may not all be Pathfinders here, but we all appreciate the gravity of the situation at hand, and remnants of the World Wound still stir in our scouts, and our scouts confirm that a horde of cannibals, abominations, and beasts move on the sky citadel of Jormungandr. This keep is the seat of our faction, the concordance of elements, and if this embassy headquarters is destroyed, the implications reach out not only to the surrounding countries, but to the plains at large. The venture captain makes eye contact with several members of the Pathfinder Council who far outrank him, but they entrust his expertise and reputation with large operations such as this to get things done. We also have sources that say says that the Horde does not act mindlessly, that Arilo Vorlesh, the demon witch of Undarin, the original architect of the world wound, puppeteers their strings. Whatever she's planning, it doesn't change the fact that Jormungandr needs our help, and we answer the call to defend it. We don't know what her plans are, but what we do know is that time is of the essence. You hear people curse their words under their breath. The area around Jormungandr is dimensionally locked. As such, magical travel to it is prevented. Whilst this works in both ways for Arilu's hordes as well, it means our forces must travel on foot. Surely you've all noticed this. The longer we wait, the more peril Jormungandr is in. Get to the Sky Citadel, repel the invaders, and drink around when the battle is won. This speech took place a week ago. You've spent a week of overland movement in the World Wound. The rocky terrain of the realm of the Thunderborn, west of the Wolf Crags, leaves your body weary, for your mind is bored, but you finally arrive at Jormungandr. The Lost Fortress city fails to impass upon initial inspection from the surface. All that stands above ground is a single 3-story watchtower built far up the side of the mountain. I forgot that was 3 weeks, so that took place earlier. Now you are in front of the area and you see Dexter comes up. He flies up above everybody so everyone can see him. Everybody can hear him, but doesn't seem that there's magic in his words, just that he can make his voice heard. See, the armies of the Thunderborn and Pathfinder Society are gathered around the base of the tower. Hundreds of soldiers sit holding their breath. Hundreds of soldiers ready to fight, ready to die. Pebbles tumbles from surrounding cover as the opposing armies are seen before they are heard. The sky grows dark with murders of undead birds. The ground shakes and animate siege towers, composed of towering bone, rotting flesh, lumber forth. Thousands of roaring minotaurs, shrieking goblinoids, savage warriors echo throughout the mountainside. Dexter lands on a rock to inspire and goad the hundreds of allies' armies against thousands of crazed enemies. All soldiers, this is our only chance to secure the Sky Citadel. There's no future for Sarkoris without Jormungandr and the Sky Key. And there never will be. Defend the towers from invaders. For Sarkoris. And he raises his hand up, and you hear everybody cheers. The day.
Here.
Oh yeah. Yeah, sorry, buddy. You're in the wrong stream. Thank you. Thank you, Rockheim, for bringing the Kool-Aid Man in. You guys spend. You see people die. You see battles fight. Now, what I'd like, because each of you ran a table for this event, tell us what you remember from your section of the table. We'll start with Matt.
My table was a skyship battle that flew over the skyline of the Sakura Scar. During that battle, they were besieged by Varroks and swarms of hell wasps. Do you just want the first part, or do you want like the whole thing?
Just a synopsis of
Okay.
phase one.
Phase one. So yeah, so it was the airship battle. When a lowly airship captain proved how more potent being in your element is than the 2 level 15 characters that were out of their element and thoroughly got their asses whooped at every possibility, while the low level airship captain won hero of the day
Nice.
and kept the high levels from dying.
Brian, you want to tell us about some of the stuff that happened in phase 1 of your story?
Yeah, so if I recall, the battle that I witnessed was our defenders were on the ramparts over kind of a gatehouse area with a kind of a winding path that's kind of built on the cliffside leading up to the gates. We had like different hordes and squads of cannibals and I still have my notes. Cannibals and funky, creepy elf people. Discari elves, which are like creepy elf people. I don't remember much more than that. Keep trying to swarm, and admittedly, we had a few spellcasters pretty much rock them into nothingness in various ways, shapes, or forms. And an angry elemental that kept getting kind of angry that the spellcasters were killing all the people before they could get to him. Sounded kind of dwarf-like, actually.
Yes.
But that was, I don't really remember much else.
So not only this, but you guys, you don't, you give your help to aid, not to those groups. There are other tables, there are other groups that you guys aided. People that had technology they didn't understand that they had to deal with. People that had monsters, demons that you guys kind of as a mental group had. There was also no combat ever actually made it to you. However, after some time, and I'll wait for Matt to get back. Welcome on in, Real Care.
Just getting cranberry juice.
No worries, no worries. Welcome back, welcome in, Real Care. Hello, hello. Seven-Tail Fox is redeeming of the Tangia dungeon. Feel free to redeem that anytime today. You guys can play the dungeon. Duels should also give you loot if you want to duel each other. Also, we have the channel point redeems where you can redeem for stuff there as well.
Apparently, I still have the little squad tokens.
Nice.
From that game. So if y'all need a bunch of cardboard cannibals, there you go.
And it's at that moment that you see some of those towers fall. And you can feel some rush of magic. Now, we're going to rewind the night before. After your travels, you guys are just laying down to sleep. You're in your tent the night before that battle. And you hear like a tapping on the fabric. This is after you've spoken to Dexter. Way later that evening, after you guys have traveled the rest of the way to Jormungandr, you hear this tapping the night before the battle. You hear, is everyone decent in there?
Yes.
It's Maractus. Do you mind if I come in?
Are you decent out there?
Yes.
Then sure.
He unbuttons.
I mean, come on. He's like 80 years old. He's seen it all. Let's just let the old guy in.
I don't want to see it all. I've been to a YMCA gym.
He actually flips it aside. You guys actually have magnetized door on the tent. So he just like undoes the magnets and comes in because they had magnets. They slap back in place. And he sits down. He's like, I've heard that you've spoken to Dexter, yes?
Yes.
I'm going to throw a small audible that will help us even further. But it's not going to come into effect until this damned teleportation magic subsides and is back to normal. And he holds out a rod swirling with magical runes. Who takes it?
I got the wand of haste. I kind of point towards you guys. Or I'll take it.
I'm like, I'm Nick is GM character, so
I do not use a lot of magic stuff because my list is super limited.
it's
I'll take
a
it, then.
rod, not a wand.
Oh, a rod.
Yeah, it's
I
a
misheard.
rod. Don't tug on the old man's rod. At any rate, one of you takes it.
All right, I'll take it.
He goes, I'm going to want this back. But it's very imperative. It's got two functions. It can only be used it has 3 charges per day. When you click it, you choose the number of targets that you want it to be. It has to be line of sight, so your allies. I created it not realizing that there would be 3 of you, and this would be the perfect need for this item. It will take you to my private sanctum.
Mm.
From there, you can oversee everything on the battlefield. And you can get anywhere on the battlefield.
Wow.
And this works even with all the interplanar.
You will have to
travel?
wait till the magic subsides to use it.
Ah, I see.
There are plenty of things that you can do while you are there. Anything you shouldn't be touching, you won't be able to. I expect this will be useful for you and for us in the battle to come.
Yes. Thank you. This should help a lot.
The shifting is very specific. You will want to also be very specific and know when you're coming and when you're going.
Okay.
Do we all have to like touch the rod when we're teleporting?
Just the initial person, as long as everyone's willing. It's a work in
So do
progress,
the others
so it
have to be like line of sight?
you should be in line of sight, yes.
Okay.
I don't expect you to get that far away from each other. I don't expect you to have time for such.
Just understanding the parameters in case we need to do some interesting maneuvers.
The rod will get you there, and it will get you back.
And that'll be 3 times that it can do that.
Technically 6. 1 charge for each of you to get there, and then when you're there, 1 charge each to get back.
Mm.
So technically 6 charges.
Sure.
Okay.
And it resets every day, but it's like, yeah. He's like, you'll understand why it works the way it works when you use it.
Okay.
It's a prototype, so there is a chance that the magic could die out at some point. I'm playing with it, but it should do good for as well as what we need it for. One pump each way. Wow, Chav's got his mind in the gutter tonight. Chav's got his mind in the gutter.
Yeah.
Remember to touch it on the head to make it work.
Rod takes blue magic to keep it. Oh.
Wow.
And then we fast forward back. You feel magic wash over you. And you know that the ability to use teleportation magic has returned. But also, the united forces of the Pathfinders and the Thunderborn make good time through the rough expanse of the Saber-Tooth Vale and surrounding Wolf Crags. The environment is harsh and fraught with the forces are harried through the guerrilla skirmishes with cannibals, giants, and warg-like creatures. After a hard week of travel, a united Galarian makes it to the Shroud of Unicorns, where Relo's personal forces have gathered. They see a desolate, putrid forest whose trees twist like an ashen boneyard. Traversing the forest, you reach its dying heart, an autumnal grove whose leaves seem to perpetually fall from a dwindling canopy. You hear Dexter, "Alliance! Our scouts confirm that Arilo and her minions are beginning her twisted ritual. Ritual sites are springing up all over Sarkoris. We think that is why they stole the Sky Key from Jormungandr. To aid in the ritual, or at the very least, deny us the ability to use it against them. We need to move more quickly. We need 3 groups to disrupt Arilo's ritual. Team 1 will be sent to recover the Sky Key located at our diviners at the Goddess's Tear. When you see the mechanical aura ray, you will know you're in the right place. We will send a scholar of technology, Corbane, to guide and assist you with their needs. Other things are screamed to other groups. Each group has their own commands. You, however, I'm assuming step away from your think tank group, realizing that shit has just started to really hit the fan, and you guys might be a little bit more needed.
Look at Brian to click the switch.
Look at the two of you nod and click, click.
Okay.
The first.
Please roll
transport
20.
is-
Finally load.
I know, right?
I'm gonna be pissed if it doesn't load.
So
Yeah.
it pseudo worked for me, but
I tried getting back in a couple of times and it lagged out.
I did throw a copy of the World Loom map into chat if you needed to just throw that on screen.
We're gonna do this, and I'm going to do, where's my thing, so I can get it over to you guys. Not that one. You guys appear in a grove with surrounding forests. Beautiful, gorgeous. The air is crisp and clean. It is quiet. A little breeze as the grasses patter through and move. A large, unique looking tower stands in the distance with its gate open. There are animals about, strange animals, ones that you haven't really ever seen before. There's a picture for those of you, since Roll20 isn't working. Let me get it up on stream here.
That's cool.
You see that. You also see little fey creatures, a couple of them here and there, skitter off. They roll a perception check.
Well, I'm statistically constant on my die roll. Because I rolled another 3, so 16.
34, unless it's about a trap, then it's a 40.
Matt, with a 30 plus, you realize that everything that you see is some form of injured or recovering or healing from something. If you see a fairy, it's got a broken wing or it's hurt legs or missing something that's healing. There might be a deer that walks by that, looks like it took a giant, unnatural wound from some sort of monster that's healing and recovering.
Hmm. As much as I want to investigate, I think we should go in to find the Overlook.
Yep.
You go in and there are lots of rooms, and they're all fairly open. It's the inside looks as, I don't know, almost impossible as the outside. You realize that this entire location is completely made out of magic. You can go ahead and either roll an Arcana or a Spellcraft if you'd like.
Sure. For spellcraft, I got a 24.
39 Arcana.
So, with a Spellcraft, you realize that high powerful like mages can make their own extra dimensional spaces.
Sure.
Depending on their power, depends on how unique they can make them, how large they can make them, and how much they can manipulate them. Matt, you realize this is probably the highest level of that could be done.
Yep.
You also realize upon going in and walking around that what you have, because you rolled so high, Matt, very unique extra dimensional spaces need, if you have a tuning fork, you need something very specific to use the tuning fork against. Like you couldn't just ring it against the wall of the tower and bind it to this location. You'd need something more. What you realize you've been given is a backroom key that Maractus made himself for other people to a place no one is really allowed or even knows exists. And you guys have been entrusted with that item.
Okay.
Anything that you kind of would look for, there is a scrying room with a pool of water. It also has a giant mirror in it, but the pool of water is already set to Sarkoris. Each of you can see, all three of you can see Sarkoris and everything that is going on, except for it kind of seems frozen in time.
Does it work like a touch screen? Like, can I zoom in?
You guys can figure it out eventually, but you can move it around. But yeah, you realize everything is kind of just frozen, like it's a picture of Sarkoris and the armies.
Is there a way to take multiple pictures to get a sense of it, like a stop motion kind of thing?
You can go ahead and roll a perception check.
31.
Damn.
Yeah, I rolled well on that one.
I did not roll well. 22.
So Matt, yeah, you're like, how do I get, where's the play button? How do we hit play? Brian, you're like, where do we, and you notice there is movement. In fact, it is very slow. Very. Like, you could leave for an hour and their arm might move this far in an hour. But you realize
Oh.
they are moving very slow.
So like even when we zoom in, it's super slow.
Yeah.
So they are okay.
Go ahead. Go.
So
You and only you can go ahead and make an Arcana check. Or actually,
right.
make a Planes check.
No. You know what?
You might have stuff on your sheets, other sheets, bonuses, stuff like that. Take a look what you got. It may or may not be important.
Well, I'm as a standard action once a day I can take a 20.
You should do that.
So if I
You should
do
that.
plus half that and that, so that's 27 without rolling so far. You know what? I'll burn a myth. I'll do a surge too. In my surge, so what did I say? 27. Yeah, plus 4, so 31. I don't think I've got any other bonuses so far, but I'll do a quick speed through here.
Yeah, I mean, some of our boons, our character sheet boons and stuff, might be a bit different.
You have your free mythic point you could top her off with.
That's what I just used.
Oh, okay.
What did you roll on your dice? Maybe a chat can give you a reroll.
I got a 4 for my surge die.
What about your regular dice? Oh, because you got an auto 20 from your bard.
And I got I
Yeah.
took a 20. Let's see here.
And I didn't make the roll, so I can't aid him.
Yeah, because you don't notice it.
I don't. Well, it probably wouldn't work anyway because that would take time.
Matt, do you want to roll a die 20 for me?
Yes. Nat 1.
Okay. Yep, Nick doesn't notice it either.
These real dice are sucking.
Is there? Is there anything you can do as far as spending prestige or whatever to get a bonus?
If you have a boon that allows you to spend prestige, I think so, but I don't think otherwise.
Okay. Then I fear what did I say, 31. I think a 31 is probably going to be the best that I can do here.
So at a 25, you realize that it's kind of like you've been hasted.
Okay.
That's kind of what it feels like. At a 30, you realize, wait a second, you're on a different plane of existence. Time is moving differently here than it is there.
He made his realm move slower when we're in it. That's why it looks like it's moving so slow.
Now, you didn't roll high enough to know how much the differential is?
Yeah, okay.
But it's moving
Gotcha.
very slow. In fact, one might say that in a round of combat, you guys will reset all of your daily stuff.
Oh, wow.
Oh, shit.
Which means you have a lot of downtime. A lot of downtime. In fact,
all right, so
every other round, you can help a team somewhere in this thing. You can boop in, help them for a round. Because you can see you're like, okay, this guy's here, that guy's there, that guy's there, that guy's here, that guy's there. Okay, you can boop in, drop a fireball, boop in, be like, this is the thing. Somebody can be trying to solve a problem, and you guys can go upstairs into the research lab, research it, come up with the problem, come out, tell them the answer, and then boop back.
Nice.
Okay.
For those that are watching the stream, for those that are like, this is a strange mechanic, we played this battle happened almost a year ago. And there was something called these boon sheets that got passed around from table to table to table to table. And there were different groups that were represented, but weren't actually characters being played. And the players could utilize a boon off of the sheet if it made it to their table. And that boon would help them in whatever way it was. They could pick which boon. This group was one of the character checkoffs on the sheet. They would allow you to use knowledge from other worlds, other versions of you, as it were, to solve problems. Guess what? You guys are going to solve their problems. There is
Nice.
very little, maybe no actual physical combat to this fight. This is a downtime adventure. Because you guys literally can come and go more or less as you please. And if by some chance you boop in right before a fireball goes off and you don't die, you just boop back here and heal yourselves in a round of combat. You guys have a lot of downtime. You can use it to retrain. You can use it to train. You can use it to research things. You can research things in character or like, you know, if you want to research spells or something like that. If you guys have any crafting feats, you guys can craft shit. Provided you have the materials, of course. Now, you can get the materials as long as you can afford the materials, because you can just boop in somewhere and get some materials you need and boop back. So, we're going to go to break, and I'm going to let you guys think of some stuff you want to do. You can also explore the building as well. Explore the building, stuff like that. There's every knowledge you can research. Some things have more than others. There are secrets. There are other things in this place that you can find. So it's kind of a downtime event, but also it's kind of an exploratory thing. We don't have a map, so we're just going to story of word the adventure. Of course, like I said, this is not going to be what you guys expected in any way, shape, or form. Hopefully I succeeded at that. So we're going to take a quick break. Please stick around for the ad. When we come back, we will see what Matt and Brian choose to do in just a few minutes. Yeah.
It's D&D.
I am sorry, I am trying to be helping, but...
What happened to Trinia?
She just disappeared.
I did.
We lost the kid.
I am not understanding. She just got hit by one of those raisins. She disappeared. She is gone.
And Arabella said I turned to stone?
You were a statue. Welcome back.
You know what? I just give him a hug. A big jockey hug.
Okay.
This is not the time!
Far away from, apparently. And switch our map.
Whoa.
Say hello to the Forgotten Realms.
Well, some of it at least.
Oh,
it is. It's
yeah,
all of it.
It's the whole effing thing.
Well, it's this whole part of the continent, yeah.
It's the whole part of the continent, yeah. It is Toivo's turn. Toivo appears, closes his eyes as you explain what's going on, turns its head to look at, or to its head so it's facing the Hound of Tyndalos. So Matt and Brian, you hear the cat just growl real low and dangerous. Nick, you hear meow meow, I can smell you, meow meow meow. Roll your attacks, please. Blink dogs are like, we don't want to kill the doggos. Like they're doggos. They're so adorable. And I'm like, all right, so we're gonna call it the ethically sourced blink dog cloak. And so basically they were blink dogs that when they died of old age, they donated their bodies to the magic item industry such that their skins could then be turned into a blink dog cloak, which would give the barbarian Misty Step 3 times a day.
As someone
My
who's had to
favorite
like
by
brush a husky, I feel like you could definitely make a whole cloak just out of like the fur,
yeah.
that they shed.
Yes.
Oh, is it a blink dog?
There we go. Look, he just appeared out of nowhere.
Hi, man. Hi, honey.
Hello.
It's like
I heard someone say dog. Oh,
If it's a home game situation, and let's say you've gone into it thinking, I've got a really cool idea for a horror one shot and I'm running it and the players are just making jokes and things, then this comes back to my number one rule whenever anybody pops into anything that I'm doing, streams or whatnot, and they say, "Do you get any advice for new players?" I say 4 words. And anybody who's from my community who's in chat will repeat them with me now. Talk to your players. Conversation is key. You've got to have that discussion. There is nothing to stop you pausing the game and saying, "Hey guys, I'm trying to create an ambience of horror here. I've worked really hard at it. I've turned the lights down and put candles on and stuff. And I'm trying. I feel like these like silly names that you're like coming up with silly nicknames for the bad guy and stuff. It's really undermining me. Can we please try and keep this on genre?" And then go back into it. And your players, unless they're dickheads, will go, "Yeah, absolutely, you're right. We were fucking around a bit much."
but your characters don't know that. So behave as though your characters don't know, but you players do. So I can be like very like, imminent danger. What are you going to do? A bucket full of puppies. But like the players know that I'm not actually trying to like traumatize them.
All right, Majenko flies over. Love Racer, I've got you!
Can he do a flyby heal?
Sure.
All right, we are back. Back again. Eddie's back. Where we left off, you guys are in this extra dimensional dwelling. Extra dimensional. It's not really a fortress. It's just like not a wizard's tower, but it is a wizard. I mean, it literally is a wizard's tower, but
it's a wizard's castle.
Yes. So, you guys kind of realize you've got some free reign. And I don't know what kind of questions you have about the situation. Because there may be some questions. There may be some thoughts. I know Nick would immediately is wondering, like, why doesn't... The first thing Nick says is, why doesn't Maractus just use this to do what we're doing? Why have us do it? He's got all the magic.
I mean, maybe because he realizes there's other stuff that he has to accomplish and can't be in more than 2 places at once.
Yeah, but we can kind of be in more than one place at once with this.
Maybe it draws on his magic to work. So if he's here, he can't sustain it or something?
Maybe.
Oh, crap. So, Nick...
Why not give it to somebody else? Like, give it to the people, his friends from Sandpoint. Why not give it to, like, the head honchos that work at the Pathfinders that are, those big groups? Why us?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
I don't know any divination spells, so I can't even guess. But I mean, this is a gift, and if it was a horse, I wouldn't look it in the mouth.
True. And Nick goes.
Quick question.
Nick goes tomorrow. Or whenever that thing resets, we need to go back and get my cat.
Why didn't you bring your cat?
The thing's only got 4 charges. And it's not like he goes in a container with me. Like yours is a thing that like your familiar goes in a extra dimensional space, right?
Like my familiar just like sits on my shoulder. Or it goes into my familiar pouch.
Yeah, so it's in your familiar.
Just like a horse pocket.
Yeah. I don't have one of those. So like he can't come with me.
Your whistle doesn't work here.
He can't come with me on the teleport. Yep, and we're in another dimension. So.
So here's a question: did we at least figure out that one round or one round of fighting is a day in here, or do we not know that?
You don't know. You haven't figured it out. You don't know how much time passes.
So they're moving super slow, but they are still moving. So it's not like we're completely in a timeless zone, but we do have time to build stuff.
Correct. You have time to build, craft, research, search, explore.
I mean, this could be kind of dangerous, but maybe we could look at his notes on this rod just to see how it functions. Maybe that'll tell us more about the time delay.
Does he have any like clocks or anything where it's like time here, time on the prime? Like
you'd have to look around.
I will look around for something like that. So at least we know the time we're working for.
All right. You eventually find a room, and it's one of the larger rooms in this place, and it's a crafting room. It's easily a crafting room for multiple different crafts, especially of magical items. And in there, yes, you see different clocks, different locations in Galarian. You see actually like clocks that don't make logical sense to you. Like you're like you can tell it's kind of like it's on a time frame of some sort, but the how it looks is different. You know, much like for us, a digital clock and a manual like hand clock kind of are different, and like numbers are different. It's kind of like that where it's you can tell it's counting, but it's in a different manner, almost like it's for some other existence, another plane or another planet or something like that. But yeah, you see all kinds of like time references, especially in one area. There's one area of the room that's got a lot of that. But yeah, and it's all kinds of crafting things, crafting materials, magical crafting materials, a lot of components that are here, like larger components, because anything that's smaller, he probably just keeps with him. But you do see, well, make a perception check.
Roll better. I hate it when I roll higher on my 8-sider than I do my 20-sider. $24. Another shit roll.
Would you say 24?
24.
24? That's not too bad. Yeah, you actually see on one of the crafting tables. It's not a crafting table, it's just a table that's got stuff on there. It's not actually like a workbench, but it's just a table that would have stuff where you could store books or references and stuff like that. You actually see a small little box. And it's actually got all 3 of your names on a piece of paper under it.
Anything else on the paper?
Nope.
Cool. He did not cast explosive runes on that paper for us?
Nope.
Good, good. Open the box.
You open the box and you see the lid has a time and the base has a time, and they are in fact referential to this plane of existence.
Cool. I bring that down next to the Scryan TV.
Okay. And yeah, you look at it and you're timing it out, and you guys can all roll. We're gonna say engineering for math. Engineering is the closest to math.
Makes sense.
I'd allow planes.
I got the ability to take a 10, so I'm gonna do that, and I'll get a 21.
Okay.
I'm gonna spend an inspiration to get a 20.
Awesome.
For a 33.
Yeah, you realize a round of combat is a day here. So you can do a round of combat, get here and go back. Now, you don't have to. It's only when you really need it, when people need you.
Mm-hmm.
But what we're going to do is we're going to wave the wand of the magic wand of you do it for all of your times that you go to help people. We're just going to say it's like, it's once a day. You're doing it at least once a day, but you could do it less, if you want to spend a couple days here, or you might go and do something else and come back real quick.
Mm-hmm.
But you do realize that, like, if you go to purchase stuff and you spend more than 2 or 3 rounds of combat purchasing something from, say, Magnamar, that's 2 or 3 rounds that somebody could die if you weren't helping.
Yeah. Yeah, I really don't think there's anything I need to buy because I'm not a big crafter.
Right, exactly. But you can research, you can train with that longsword because, again, you're getting free training time. So if you want to train to earn that longsword as far as downtime training, this is the time to do it.
Yeah. So kind of following that up, is it also like, could we retrain?
Yes. You have 30 days. Because I believe that it was about that many rounds total that whole fight happened. And you have anything you could possibly need for that retraining. So if you like, oh, I need to be trained by a XYZ, whatever, there's books on it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you don't have a physical person training you, but you have.
So I could retrain 4 levels pretty much
if you
over
wanted
the course of 30 days.
Yeah, something like that. I don't have the rules in front of me, but I'm giving you guys that option.
7 days for one level, or for a level from one class to a completely different class.
Now, keep in mind, you are doing stuff in there as well, other stuff, but.
Oh, never mind. If you have synergy with your classes, it only takes 5 days.
Yeah. So yeah, if you want to retrain, if you want to train, if you want to learn, because I think you can just learn new skills, like you can learn a proficiency. And if not, then I'm going to say you can, because I was pretty sure you could. If you wanted to like learn a proficiency or master a ability or, increase one of your stats by like training, you can do all of that. And that's going to just be like, after we're done, you guys can go ahead and do that.
Yeah.
But in the scope of looking around and doing other stuff in here, is there anything else you guys would like to, look at, research? Because you're looking at, because you guys have had lots of questions over the course of this game.
Yep.
Of a lot of different things. You currently have, yes, you don't have the Corvosan school library in here.
Mm-hmm.
But this is still, honestly, and I think all of us who have played in these games can agree, because there have been multiple characters that have just been giving Maractus all of their special research books that they've been finding. He probably has one of the most expansive libraries in Galarian.
Honestly, I was looking at our group gear and I noticed we had that Gold Gan library, and I was like, yeah, we can probably give that to him.
Yeah, put it in there.
I'm going to look for his copy of the Majestic Book of the Prime Ascended, which apparently is Iomede's holy
text?
book.
Yeah.
Because one of the things I'm going to retrain to is I'm going to take a level of Paladin.
Okay. Yeah. You definitely find that. Go ahead and roll a perception when you're going through the library.
Come on, D20, roll higher than this 8-sider. Oh, that's much better. 38.
When you're looking for Iomade stuff, you actually find out that Maractus has a section that's got all kinds of Iomedean stuff. And next to it is Caden Kalian stuff. And next to that is Norgorber stuff. And they're all kind of in their own spot together.
Interesting.
I will let both of you know that there is stuff to.
Go ahead and roll a perception, Brian. And Matt, would you roll a die 20 for Nick's perception?
Nick got a 5.
Nick don't see shit.
Oh no, Brian got a 14 because he rolled a nat 1 on the 20-sider.
Brian also doesn't know shit. Just sad.
You're welcome.
If anybody in chat wants to give either Nick or Brian a reroll, they are welcome to. Or Matt, for that sake, if they want to give Matt a reroll.
Matt rolled a nat 20. Don't waste it on Matt.
Don't waste it on Matt. There we go.
No, sir.
All right. So,
chat has redeemed a dice reroll.
Brian gets
Thank
a reroll.
All right. We're going to try that again.
Chat has redeemed a dice reroll.
Brian gets 2 of them if that one fails.
Well, the second roll, I got a 8 on the dice, so that would be a 21.
Yeah. You probably
no,
want to use
20.
that other reroll if you only rolled an 8.
22, so I'm gonna, I'll roll again.
You know what Matt got, so.
I am rolling
Chat
higher.
has redeemed a dice reroll.
Matt, you want to roll one for me?
So that's
a nat 20.
That brings Nick to a 34.
23.
So you see the same thing that Matt sees. You see the and he pointed it out to you, so it's obvious. Nick goes, "Why are there all these Eridan books as well?" Or Nick just points out there's a bunch of Eridan books in here as well.
Well, Arden was the first person to pass the test of the Starstone. He was a mortal that became a god. That's what the other 3 have in common.
And Nick's like, "That's interesting. Do you think Eridan would have come and visited us had he still been alive?"
Maybe.
Maybe.
I mean, as the god of humanity, Arden also had that idea of he's the god of thieves, because if you make a good enough piece of art, it's worthwhile to be stolen. So, like, who really knows what he would have done? It's all a little kind of wishy-washy with him.
Yeah.
And Nick looks and he goes, "Also, these gods have their own section still over there," and he points over to another place in the library. He's like, "There's a deity section over there, and they have a lot of books over there. These books are different than those books." Because again, Nick rolled a 34 and spent a mythic point to get above 35.
So what's the difference between the 2 books? Just take a little bit and compare what the titles or even what like, if are they different types of authors? Are they like some of these like more like fringe
These
theory?
ones all. So go ahead and roll your. What skill would you like to use on your research rolls?
I think since this is a religious thing, I'd start out doing knowledge religion.
Okay, Brian.
Honestly, all my knowledge skills are pretty.
You can also just aid Matt if you prefer.
You know what? Yeah, I'll aid. I'll aid Matt.
3 aids, Matt, or 2 aids, Matt.
Cool. I'll just spend another inspiration point to take a 20. So that puts me at a 37 plus 5, 42.
All of the works you're realizing as you go through these in, we'll say 4 hours, you realize a lot of the text here have specific references to the Starstone, their interactions with the Starstones, story about the Starstone, how they interacted with it.
Oh.
That's how these are all kind of separate. What was your total?
42.
You also find a hand scrawled, like an image on one of the pages, very old, in one of the books. Let me see if I can find it. Put it in. Where is our chat?
Oh, I see it there. Cool.
So I threw. Sorry, I didn't realize I threw that in the wrong group chat. The other one.
That's all right. We got it figured out.
So you see that image. Now, at first glance, it doesn't really stand out. But then you look and you're like, okay, the guy in the center with the wings has a gun and an ammo vest. The guy on the far left clearly has a giant flaming sword. The guy on the right has a little dinosaur on his shoulder, and there's a giant fucking cat there as well.
Took me a while to realize the cat part of the picture.
Okay, that's freaking cool.
Mm-hmm. What else is that book talking about, or is this in the Arden section, or?
This is in a. It's not related. Like, it's not related to any of the deities specifically, but it's related to the prophecy of preventing the Starstone, or preventing Starfall from happening.
Mm.
And in the book, you realize that there's, like, on this sheet of paper that's inserted. It's not part of the book. Somebody inserted it in there from somewhere else or something else. You realize that there have been notes taken in this book in reference to this area. It looks like Maractus set this area aside specifically because he was researching something about these. What you also find, because you rolled so freaking high, You also find books, nondescript, they're nothing on the spines, but you realize that when you pull them out and you look at like the covers and the inscriptions, they bear some of the holy symbols of the people that were based in Maractus's town. Those the people that followed the angel guy. I forget his name.
Is it Raziel or something like that?
Raziel.
Raziel or something.
Yeah, and you see some of their symbols, but you also see that a lot of the symbols in those also correspond with Rift Warden logos. Almost like a good chunk of that chapter were also part of the Rift Wardens. Like secretly part of the Rift Wardens.
Oh.
And that part did a lot of stuff to do with Rift Wardens and a lot to do with prophecies.
Interesting.
And you realize there is reference to these three figures in quite a few texts. Of course, you can't read all the texts, but the ones you can read, you make that out. You can continue to research if you'd like, or you could do other stuff.
Well, I have retraining time that I need to do in my 30 days, so that's probably as much as research I can
for today
give myself and still change my classes.
For today, yeah.
Yeah.
I would like to spend a little bit of time crafting.
Yeah, and I'm going to just assume that it's not all in one day, that like some of this stuff takes place over the
okay.
course of days so you can spread it out. We're kind of winging it a little bit here, giving a little bit of leeway. You know, rule of cool and storytelling over, you know, mechanics.
Because what I'll want to do is anytime we go out, I want to make sure I have on hand. I can make because I do have scribe scrolls, so I'll make a scroll of like Cure Serious, add a 9th level caster, and I figured out the money for that. And basically when we pop in, I'll be like, here's a scroll, cast haste on everybody. All right, guys, let's go. Like, you know.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I'm realizing now the haste isn't so much for us at this point. It's to help the rest of them.
Hooray! Fumbles and flagons!
Okay.
It's gonna be so magical.
Welcome on in, Raiders. How are you doing? How was your game? How was your I'm assuming you were role-playing?
Do I crit the door?
Crit the door.
You can't crit inanimate objects.
Do I crit the door?
Do that. Crit the door.
Damage.
Okay.
That's a super old clip. That's all right. Fun clips are fun clips nonetheless, especially when they're RPG clips, guys. Go check out Fumbles and Flagons, because I'm going to do that right now. Welcome on in. What were you playing? How are you doing? How was the stream? Tell us all about it. Welcome on in, everybody watching. Welcome in. Thank you for that follow. Fumbles, Ray. Yeah, we'll welcome you guys all in. We will take that time. We don't have any problem stepping away to welcome on in the Raiders, especially on the Old School 3. This is our most interactive of RPGs. Thank you so much. Pyrenoia? No, tell me how we're pronouncing that. Fizzyberry, welcome on in. Andrew Bloom Fitness, welcome on in. Fumbles and Flagons. Yasugi, I'm assuming, welcome on in. Crikey or Critty. Yeah, like paranoia. You got it. Nice. Welcome on in, everybody. We do all kinds. Every Wednesday night here is tabletop role-playing. I started my TT RPG with first edition Pathfinder. Nice. I'm assuming first edition Pathfinder, not D&D, because usually D&D first edition we just say, you know, original D&D. Red box, blue box. Wasn't even what first edition. I guess there was a point where it was kind of like AD&D, I guess, was not really an edition, and then there was second edition D&D. So and there's the last one from Crikey. Pathfinder first edition. Yeah, it's what we mainly do here is Pathfinder first edition. Every Wednesday is tabletop role playing. We have a different campaign. Everyone is once kind of every 4 weeks. They're on a 4-week rotation. So right now we're doing this game, the Old School 3, which is the most interactive, most you guys stream tabletop role playing. It's also a little bit more silly than the rest. It's not quite as serious, although we do have our serious moments. So welcome on in. We also have our Stolen Souls campaign that takes place on Wednesdays. We also have the Claimer's Conquest, which is a combination. It's the aftermath of Rise of the Rune Lords campaign and a Curse of the Crimson Throne campaign, kind of smooshed together. We call that the Claimer's Conquest. That also happens here on Wednesday. So welcome on in. For those that don't know, my name is Nick. I'm down below here. These are my friends, Matt and Brian. You will see them an awful lot, especially on Wednesdays here on the stream. So thank you. Welcome on in. If you like tabletop role playing, you want to check out Mondays. Mondays is podcast night, talk show night. We either have the Epic Realms podcast or the Epic Realms show off the pod. We have all kinds of people on here, game designers, authors, TV personalities, all kinds of stuff. If you're big fans of D&D role playing and stuff like that, maybe you've heard of some of our guests. R.A. Salvatore, Ed Greenwood, Eric Scott DeBee, Jennifer Brozek, Matt Forbeck. Maybe you know some of those. If you're in the RPG world, maybe you know those people. Maybe you don't. But welcome on in. Thank you for being here. We're playing the game called The Old School 3. And the three of us have just made our way into an extra dimensional space of a big, powerful wizard. And he's apparently left some sort of clues or stuff for us behind, or he's been researching us or something. So we're trying to solve exactly what that is. They just found this picture that you see on the screen in an ancient text of the three characters that you see there. So welcome on in. Thank you for being here. Please feel free to stick around. If you gotta go, if you gotta raid and run, take care of yourselves. But we got you followed, and down the road, if we are getting done before you, we will make sure to keep an eye out so we can return the favor and get those raids in over there. So thank you and welcome on in. Matt, you do some resting. You're gonna, do some more training. You're trying to retrain for Paladinhood. Brian, you said you were planning on doing something. You were making potions in haste and helping the people.
Well, I've got I can craft scrolls, so I'll start crafting scrolls. Probably start with Cure Seriouses and
okay,
and because I can probably make my 3rd level spell at 9th level. I can still pump one out a day.
Okay,
because it's under the 1,000 gold piece cap.
You do that. Eventually you get Nick's, you guys pick up Nick's cat and bring it back. Like, two of you, like Nick and Brian, will go over and help somebody, then grab the cat and come back, sort of thing, while Matt's training. Because it's like, oh, this is an easy thing. We researched whatever it is, the XYZ. They had a big puzzle on a door that they couldn't get through, and they needed to do it to get into a thing in Jormungandr. And you're like, oh, well, let's research that puzzle box, this religion thing. One of you kind of keeps an eye on the scry device to kind of every once in a while, like you check in every hour or two to see how people are going, and kind of see what the things are and try and solve what their issues are. But yeah, other than that, is there any other things you're going to do while you're there? We'll say, a couple days passes along the way, but along that, the whole time frame, we're encompassing a good chunk of the thing. We're going to kind of do it kind of like Brian, kind of like Andrew did for Claimer's Conquest, where it's like, these aren't necessarily going to be all in linear order. They're kind of be all over whenever.
Sure. I think I would probably spend the majority of my time, if I'm not doing the crafting, to observing the scry pool.
Mm-hmm.
So basically my 2 big events, other than when we actually go out and help, is like do some crafting, watch the scry pool, sleep and eat.
Okay. You're not going to search around the location. You're not going to try and research anything.
I mean, I guess
I'm literally giving you the keys to the kingdom of information. But if you don't want to use them, then you could just continue to be in the dark.
Well,
like I would say Nick does that, but Nick's going to do with what you guys do because he is a GM character at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, he's probably going to be work on training with his cat. But
well, I suppose he did give us the key to the proverbial kingdom. So yeah, I guess maybe I will explore a bit.
Yeah, he said any place that you're not supposed to go to, you won't be able to get to. So i.e., before he left, he just made those places disappear temporarily because it's his will how the plane of existence works. So it's like, yep, that door's just not there to that part of the building.
Okay. So yeah, then I guess I will explore and see what I can find.
Okay. You end up finding this. You find a door that feels different than all the other doors. It seems only partially part of this place. It seems out of place.
Interesting. Does it appear to be locked?
It doesn't look like it has a lock.
I'll test the handle.
Yeah, it moves.
I'll open the door and peek in.
You open the door and you see it looks almost like a mirror, like a mirrored type surface, and all you see is a stairwell going up. Basic stone stairway, looks more like cobblestone. There's dust on it. You just realize inside here there's not a lot of dust. Through there's dust. Other than a couple footprints. Roll your perception.
Oh crap. Okay. Of course. That will be a total of a 15.
Okay.
Because I rolled a 2 on the die,
Okay.
like you do.
Yeah, you see a stairwell going up.
I'll start making my way up.
Okay. You go through. The door shuts behind you. As you feel a difference, you feel like you've teleported.
Okay.
You're in a different place. You go up the set of stairs. It's just this little quaint area. And you see it leads up to like a kitchen area.
Okay.
And yeah, it looks like this little hole in the wall, ramshackle, almost like a cabin. Hey, guess what, guys? Roll 20 is back up.
Sweet.
Just took 2 hours.
Just took 2 hours. All right.
Awesome.
Let's see here. Let's see if I can find the map that I want since we are actually here. It's not there. I thought I had it. I thought I just uploaded. Ah, there it is.
Oh, cool. Is this one of those you made with the
Yes. So you've come to the stop. Sorry. You actually come to the top of the stairs and you find a bedroom, not a kitchen.
Okay.
You find a bedroom. It's got a little desk on it, a little bed, comfy, cozy. It's just like a cabin bed.
I'm gonna look back down. Like, is the staircase still there?
Yes. And you actually see the wall shifts. Like there's it's an old cabin wall with like old like logs for the walls, except for you see the stone face move and it kind of reshifts in front of your face and it says something. Do you speak Terran?
I do not.
It says something. You have no idea what it says.
This is
Matt.
practice.
Sorry, Matt, you and Nick.
Yes.
You guys haven't seen Brian in a day and a half.
Oh no.
Can you have Toivo sniff Brian's bedroll and then, or wherever he's been sleeping, and then try to figure out where the heck he went. And I like, while you're doing that, I'll watch the
scrying pool.
Yeah,
because here's the thing: Brian has the clicker.
Yeah.
So we can't help anybody. We're trapped. Yeah, so you're watching the thing and you actually see that there's like an army that is surrounding a group of people, of Pathfinders, and what they really need, what they really need is a haste.
Oh yeah.
There's no way that they're going to survive this unless they could get a few extra rounds of attack. And maybe you guys might need to get a few rounds in also to help them out, because they need to defend this area, because if they come in, a piece of item that they're holding is reverberating magic to one of the other parties and is actually creating like this giant web that's helping keep everyone going. And without that place, it'll all drop. But you can't get there.
So I know that there's certain crystal balls that, but you can't like cast spells through them. You can just usually use like seeing magic.
Yeah.
Like
you can speak
I
to
have
them.
haste
You can
prepared.
Yeah.
Maybe I can try to.
Yeah, you can speak to them. You can maybe talk to them. Maybe if he's got it set up that way. But yeah, otherwise you've got no idea.
Yep.
Nick goes, he went behind this weird door, it says, but I don't know what's on the other side of the door. It looks like an old dusty stairwell. Nick yells up.
Well,
and he's like, I keep yelling
run
up
and quick grab him.
He's like, I'm yelling up the stairs, but he can't hear me.
Well,
can you? And Nick's like, Nick yells, because you're yelling across the thing, right?
Yep.
He's like, can you check in for can you scry on him?
I'll try. Let's see if I can move this scrying device.
Yeah.
What do you want to roll?
Spellcraft. Or use magic device, whichever you prefer.
Yeah, I don't gotta use magic device.
I kind of figured.
25.
25. You grab it and it shifts all the way over to Verizia into an area, and it gets it, and the screen goes black because it's protected from scrying.
I'm like, nope, you're just gonna have to run in and get them.
All right.
And then I'll scroll wheel it back to the world wound.
All right. I was gonna have it work until I forgot that he had him protected from scrying. The whole forest is protected.
That's hilarious.
Nick and Brian, you hear ahead, like you all of a sudden you hear Nick, Brian, where are you? Again, it's only been like a few seconds.
And I'll goodbye, House of Maractus. Please don't hurt me. And I head back.
And as you're heading back down, you hear a door somewhere in the building open, and you hear it say, Maractus, is that you? I've got your mail.
No, I'm just a friend of Maractus's, but I'm heading out.
Nobody's supposed to stay where you are. And you hear like something coming through, and you hear them. They say something outside in some sort of language. Do you speak Fae? Or Elven?
Like Sylvan?
Sylvan, yeah.
I do speak Elf.
Yeah, Elven will work. You can get bits and pieces out. They're warning somebody, and you hear a shift, like massive something outside. And Nick goes, people are dying. It's been almost 2 days. Where have you been?
What? Fuck. I'll head back downstairs.
Okay. You close the door?
Yeah.
Okay. You get back up there in time to haste the party that is almost dead. And you save them.
Haste and probably throw some heals and...
Throw some heals.
And I'll be like, there you go, there you go. Oh, you don't need to thank me. You really don't need to thank me. There you go, there you go, there you go. As I feel really like like I was literally up there for like 3 seconds before you like. Well, okay, like maybe 6 seconds before you hollered, but like holy. Okay, so maybe it was like I don't know, a minute, but
yeah, you guys
it,
get
like
back. You realize this isn't easy to juggle, because just now you healed. Well, that was like 5 days of time that you lost while you were heal, heal, heal. You see?
whoa. Okay, so when we go, so time the time dilation thing's very like okay.
It's not
I like
easy to track. So like you realize that like all of the creatures and stuff that are in that plane that Maractus is using to let them heal, like he made sure they're all self-sufficient.
sure.
Because if he has a pet that he needs to feed, that pet might just die if something happens.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Gotcha. All right, well, I'll let you guys know. Like I was up there for less than a minute and now it looks like 5 days have gone by or something crazy. Like that dilation is crazy. So if we pop in and out, that means
That was the first time one of you got separated, like because none of you went to go get material components or anything.
but now at least we can try to organize. God, that's going to be weird.
So what was on the other side of the door?
Little cottage. I think it was well, or a bedroom. I
Yeah,
shouldn't
you
even
don't
say
know.
cottage. Sorry, like a bedroom. I think it was like maybe Maractus's little bedroom. I didn't really. I heard a voice and I got the hell out of there. I didn't really. Someone was dropping off mail. So
And as you're speaking, in the middle of that sentence, you see 7 fey creatures come in the room. They just zoom right in to where you guys are at in the extra dimensional space, all brandishing
okay.
their weapons.
Whoa, hey, we're all friends here.
They're like, "Where's Maractus? What have you done with him? Who are you?"
I show the rod. He lent us the use of this place to help fight off them opening up the world wound.
I'll zoom into where Maractus is on the scrying device.
Okay.
Mickey's right there.
I forget, was he part of the Arilu group or was he another? Or was he at the.
No, he was not part of the Arilu group, and he was not part of the ship group. He was the other. He was part of your group.
Oh, he was part of the key. Okay, so.
Yeah. In fact,
so you
that
see him
group.
appear and disappear.
In fact, you guys just helped that group. I don't remember exactly what we did, but it was like a skill roll.
Yeah.
Oh, it was actually you guys helped Maractus because you had to give him a skill that he didn't have, and only he could roll it at the time. And so he got to roll that skill as if he had full ranks in it. That was the boon. So you guys basically maxed out his ranks in a skill he didn't have.
That okay, yeah. That makes sense.
So you guys just helped him, in fact, yesterday.
Yeah, we just talked to him a few seconds / yesterday ago. Time is a weird soup. Anyway, so I'm Brian. This is Nick. This is Matt.
What are you doing here?
We came in through the door when Maractus's home was invaded.
Oh, was it that quaint little bedroom?
One of
with
them
the
is.
nice
One
wood,
of them is. Yeah. Now.
with the nice wood panels or whatever.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Sorry, that was me. I didn't know that went there.
Yes, that's.
He's been having us use his resources here to help the fight for Sarkoris, or well, I guess technically it's Sarkoris right now, not the World Wound anymore. But we're trying to make sure the World Wound doesn't come back.
How did you use the door? Only certain people are allowed to use the door.
Well, maybe because I got the rod to port
Oh,
us in and out of this place.
that would make sense.
Oh.
That would be my guess.
Go ahead and roll arcane check, all of you. And Matt, would you roll for me as well? Don't roll for me.
You
Nick,
got a
Nick,
15.
Nick doesn't have arcane. Nick got a 10, which isn't enough.
If I take a 10, I'll get a 21.
Okay.
This feels important because I don't want to be killed by a bunch of Fae. So I'm going to spend another inspiration point to take a 20 and
that's
get a 51.
That's a good point. I'll also spend a mythic point so I can surge this as well. God, well, at least I'm consistent with the die. So 21 plus 4 from the surge die is a 25.
You both realize Nick didn't have the clicker. Nick was able to use the door.
I just figured Brian had left it open.
No, it shut behind him.
Oh.
I knew that too.
Yeah, it automatically shuts behind whoever uses it.
So my apologies. I don't know how we necessarily got through the door. Maybe it was the clicker. I don't know. Or Maractus. I mean, Maractus is the one who's allowing us to be here. He gave us the key, and we're trying to help the people. But I don't know what else to tell you there, bud. We're not a threat to you or to Maractus. We're trying to aid him.
And they look around because they're not dumb, but they look around and they see that you guys have been staying here for quite some time, and that you guys are literally watching over Maractus. And like, nothing's harmed, nothing's hurt. In fact, they see a giant lion there that's just laying there, being taken care of. In fact, you see a lot of other animals because Nick has gone out and tended to a lot of the other animals that were there because, well, what the hell is he going to do in his downtime? So he's actually been helping heal the animals that are out there. And the Fae put their swords away. You guys make it. I'm not going to bother having you guys roll. You guys have the skills, and you guys, everything kind of adds up to them. And they're like, okay. And you might have mopped the floor with them. You don't know. They're various Fae and sprites.
Well, it's less of whether or not we can mop the floor with them, as I don't want to piss off Maractus by hurting his friends. Because that would be bad.
And the one lady who has no wings, she actually is like bark skinned. She's like, all right, well, I'm just checking. I'm going to go outside and check on our animals and all of our beings and make sure everyone's okay. If you need anything from the outside world, you just let us know, and you might not even be here by the time we get back.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fair. It's the time difference is takes a bit getting used to.
She's like, yeah, it's the only reason I don't get sick being away from my tree. Because she's only been gone for less than a second.
Oh.
Oh wait,
Smart.
does that? May I don't know if this is a rude question, so I apologize in advance. Does that mean you're like a dryad?
Yep. Yeah.
Cool.
Maractus saved my life and brought my sister to me.
That sounds like Maractus.
And he found me a new tree. And my tree is really smart. And strong. You guys, because out of character, if you guys recall, he awakened her tree for her.
Yeah.
Right.
So, she's like, well, I'm going to go drop off his mail. And she goes and...
is there like a table of it?
No, there's a little place where she goes and puts it in the castle. There's like a separate room where like all of his mail and information comes. You actually find some ring gate, like a half of a ring gate in there, so he can like feed stuff through to his own spot.
Man, dealing with Faye is stressful.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah,
Lemur,
they go back to their thing. So there, you've discovered one little piece of the place.
That's cool. I admit I probably won't go back up there just because I feel like if that's his personal space, I don't really want to get in his personal space.
Yeah.
So I feel
And
like that's
you do see them again, like they do come, because for them, they come 1 to 3 times a day
sure
to check on things while he's gone.
Massive. But go ahead and give me a strength check.
Random Rhapsody, welcome on into the raid.
Looking for a belt of
Check out this clip.
I'm just looking for.
Oh, sorry, that was a strength save, so it should be 3 less, but
25.
Still a nat 20.
Yeah, still a nat 20. So yeah, Liam is over there pulling back on the fur. Eloise is holding the knife and cutting along, and you have a resistance to cold as it is, Eloise.
Guys, go check out Random Rhapsody. How was your game? How was your stream? Were you role playing today, or were you doing something else? And welcome on in, Raiders. Thank you for coming on in. Welcome to the Old School 3 Pathfinder First Edition tabletop RPG. This is kind of a today's game is kind of a little bit open-ended. It's a little bit sandboxy. So yeah, welcome on in. Thank you for being here. This game I'm kind of the main force GM as far as this goes, but we have been rotating GMs. We've had guest GMs running spots and stuff like that. So it's been a lot of fun. We do tabletop role playing every single Wednesday night. So you can come in and join us on Wednesdays for a different campaign. All of them is once every 4 weeks, almost once a month. I think every once in a while we'll have one game twice a month. But it's every 4 weeks. They're on a 4-week rotation. So you'll see this game again in 4 weeks. What do we got coming up? I think next week we've got Stolen Souls, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so next week we've got Stolen Souls is going to be joining us here. So we'll have a much larger group. Matt up above is in charge of the Stolen Souls campaign. Brian is also in the Stolen Souls campaign. So welcome on in, Raiders. If you like all kinds of role-playing stuff, this is the place to be. Also, if you like game designers, authors, all that kind of stuff, Monday we have the Epic Realms podcast. You can be here live when we interview famous people such as Ed Greenwood, R.A. Salvatore, Aaron M. Evans, Shanna Germain. Upcoming, we've got Shadowrun author. Next Monday, we got Shadowrun author. Jennifer Brozek's going to be joining us. So if you like Shadowrun, she's going to be coming and joining us talking about that. She's also done some Battletech novels and things of that nature. So you definitely want to toss us a follow and join us on Monday for that. And then Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays is video games. We've been doing a lot of Once Human lately. Palea, I think we're going to be doing Palea on Friday. So welcome on in, Raiders. All right, Matt, Brian, is there anything else you'd like to do? Research you'd like to research? Things you'd like to look up?
So he has a lot of crafting stuff here.
He does. Literally, he can craft anything, especially magical crafting. Like anything that's magical crafting, enchanting, he's got all the stuff to enchant wise.
So I want to look at, and I can't do it now, but eventually when I get a tier and can take legendary item, I want to look at how to make a sunblade, because I already have my magic short sword and I already have the glass blade that I had made in the plane of fire.
Yes.
I just got to figure out how to make them one.
Okay. Yeah, you can research that.
Cool.
Would you guys be okay if I did leave the Golgan library and maybe the Dwarven books and stuff?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
I have no need of them, so
yeah, do it. And the Mwangi books. We have Mwangi books too.
I cannot read.
We do?
I think I have them. I think Nick has the Mwangi books.
I can't read Cyclops, so getting rid of the Golgan stuff is no problem by me.
All right, I'm just gonna, in our little group thing, I'm just gonna highlight it for now, and I'll worry about it later.
Sounds good. Like,
And then actually now that I say that, I do have Heron's songbooks. I think I'd like to if I can find the materials to do so, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, I would like to make a copy of them.
Yeah.
To leave with, like, I'll keep the originals.
Yeah, you can totally make a copy.
But I'll make a copy for Maractus as well.
Okay.
Because that'll take up plenty of downtime, and I can.
While you're putting you're getting stuff and you're organizing it and you're trying to like, okay, well, we'll put it over in this area, but we'll kind of like leave it out so he knows that like we added some stuff so he knows what to do. Go ahead and make a perception check, Brian.
Alrighty. Hey, I'm in Roll20. I can roll it this way now. Like all my rolls of the evening, Roll20 does not disappoint. I got a 15.
You do not see the library card.
That's fair. I will post a note. I will
look on
post
Matt's
a
face.
note with all the books just to let Maractus know that,
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for that follow, Scruffy Wanderer. Much appreciated.
I'll say basically this is for us, and also I may have taken and used some of your scroll crafting components.
Yeah, it's understandable. Like I said, Nick works on like working with animals, helping to heal the ones that Maractus has here, and he even starts to like research a little bit into like the Fae in general. And as he's researching into the Fae, he's like, guys, do you guys remember something about like the Fae realms all being one or something like that? And the second Nick,
like there's one Fae realm across all worlds or something.
Yeah, the moment Nick says that, you guys all kind of get those memories. Like they were there, but they were just kind of dormant. And you're like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Because
Okay.
Nick was like talking, like he was still trying to figure out like why the person from his past existence could have died, but is still alive. And he didn't quite understand that, so he was looking into it when that kind of came into his mind. He goes, so she died, but because she's a noble, she still exists on other realms of existence as is. So she still died there, but it's the same world. She's just not allowed to be one with that world. So it really is her. It really could be her.
Yeah. So like if they die, it's almost like they get locked out of that world or that plane.
So it's not just like weird magic where she's reading minds and whatever, or doing some sort of weird trippy thing. It really, really could be the same person.
Yeah.
So, Brian, you don't know this. Matt, you remember that she died a horrible death.
Yes, she did.
Like a horrible, horrible death. And it literally, well, it's, if I'm not mistaken, isn't that what split Nick into two when he drew the Fame and Fortune card?
Yeah.
It's literally what it caused him so much strife. Nick magically split into two. One to like deal with the dark anger that he had to kill all the bad things, and the other one that just wanted to live life. It literally separated his personality into two beings.
Sorry about that. I missed a little bit because I had a little earbud.
Yeah.
But I'm good.
That's
I'm following.
So Nick takes a deep breath and like exhales in a whistle. He's like, that's a lot. Like, not that I doubted her, but let's be honest, that was, how could I believe that she survived?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, she got ripped apart by a black dragon and then burnt into nothing with acid.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Does that mean Fey dragons? What the fuck?
That noise.
It's not. Somebody redeemed something.
Oh.
Wow, Rolana Halo, thank you for that. That literally was creeping us all out. Like, where is the sound coming from? Oh,
Like, I have everything muted. What's going on?
Right? By the way, for those of you who came in on the raids, this is an interactive stream. You can interact using channel points to help us, or just all the alerts. We can hear them all. No, bad, Rolana Halo, bad.
Shame. That was creepy. I was like, what are you keying up, Nick?
Right?
Like, what are we missing here? Like,
dun dun dun. Speaking of doppelgangers, speaking of duplicates, Matt?
Yes.
Because you're talking about it, because Nick's talking about splitting into two, because he has the memories of both of them, of the two of them. You realize you have memories of the two of you. You have memories of a
So I got that going,
dark,
which is nice.
not so good Deadlands version of yourself. You didn't think about it till just now, but you also have all of his memories.
Mm.
You have all of his knowledge as well. Not necessarily his tendencies, but his memories. And from a third-person perspective, you realize the two of them, other than him being evil as hell, you can't really have exact opposites of everything, right?
Usually you pay double for that kind of action, Cotton.
Because otherwise he would be evil and he'd be female and he'd have maybe long hair and it would be blonde and he wouldn't have, you can't have everything be the opposite.
Yeah.
So you realize there are actually a lot more similarities other than the fact that he makes evil decisions.
Yeah.
But still has things that aren't necessarily, things that aren't evil also apply to him as well. Right? Like, not just going to go order a pizza at the local pizza shack and then blow the guy running the place out of the water. He might actually still just pay the guy for the pizza and fucking leave.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. So, you realize that applies in this scary situation. Which may or may not have a part to play later down the road. Dun, dun, dun.
Not foreshadowing?
No, not at all. You watch as the Pathfinders secure and defeat the bad guy. I believe they actually defeated her, correct? Or did she get away?
Correct.
Yeah, she actually
did defeat her.
She was actually defeated. The creator of the world wound was completely defeated. by the party. And in fact, it was difficult because she couldn't be defeated. She was more or less invulnerable had all the parties not succeeded at their roles. She and her army was more or less invincible unless everybody were to succeed at all of the roles in all of the places. In fact, many people died, and some were brought back by the flames of hell, one might say. I.e., they were eating spicy chips, guys. They were eating spicy chips to survive.
Yeah, that was brutal. For you guys. For me, it wasn't because I was running it.
In the end, it was a team effort, and had nobody helped. And while for us, it feels like we weren't as huge of a help as the others, we still had a part to play in that fight. A part, in fact, that I know because even just from me as Nick, who was playing Maractus in that game, and Brian, who GM'd that team, had we not used the old school 3 redeem, we wouldn't have solved that puzzle because I was the only one that could have made that check.
Yep.
So in that one moment of that one dice roll, that one redeem of a sheet, that could have spelt disaster for the entire adventure. And I don't know what the other tables redeemed, but I do know there were other check marks on the old school 3. Which means that other people redeemed this team's help on more than one occasion.
Mm-hmm.
Matt, I don't know if that was redeemed at your table or 2 at Brian's, but
It was not redeemed at my table because we had, let's give everything to the other team fan. So he just supercharged all the heals and sent everything away.
Gotcha. So that means the other table used them at least twice.
Yep.
So, and I think the other table was the table that was actually fighting a Relu, correct?
Correct.
I believe so, yeah.
So we had a direct hand in the fight with a Relu at some point. So, with that being said, you guys come back at near the end, and you can kind of see that it's like she is dead and you were back at the thing, like the final thing. And you guys are like, so do we go back now or do we just wait here? And Brian, you feel like your hand is super warm. And you look down and you see,
I'm assuming?
yeah, and you see it's actually starting to crack and splinter. And you can feel the magic starting to flare. And you're pretty sure it's gonna roll an ish.
Oh no.
Oh,
beat the explosion, Brian. You can do it.
Can you surge on an initiative? Oh my god! Now hold on. Can you surge on an initiative roll?
You can.
You can.
But I don't think you
surge die.
Well,
because here's the deal.
Somebody just threw a brick at the screen.
My surge die is actually a D10.
Oh.
Because I took the thing that bumped it up the greater surge ability, so it bumps it up so it's higher. So,
unless somebody wants to redeem a reroll for you to reroll your nat 1.
I think leaving it to a surge is so much more fun.
Right? Because it's a die 10. What does he need? A 10.
I need a, yeah.
Yeah, you need a 10.
Because his modifier's higher.
Oh. Well, no, because he rolled a die. Yeah, no, because his total is a 9. He needs to beat an 18.
All right. Now the trick is, I can only surge once on this, right?
Yeah.
All right, I'm closing my eyes. I'm not even going to look at Roll20. Just going to take my cue off of what you tell me.
So, Matt,
Yep.
Nick, you guys need to roll initiative.
Chat has redeemed a dice.
Oh, you get a
reroll.
reroll.
Thank you, chat. Now, is that everything,
Sure.
or just the D10?
We'll let it be. We'll let it be the combination, but you have to roll them together as one roll. So you have to add it all up and roll it. No. I said you have to roll them all together. So you have to do roll 1 die 20 plus 8 plus 1 die 10. You screwed it up. Do it again.
All right.
All as one.
So do you just put it as one, like if I
one
do
line.
slash roll?
Yeah, just one
1d20
roll and just
plus
put a plus in
1d10?
between of them. Yeah, you can just plus and then
Yep.
whatever, then plus and then whatever.
How did you roll even worse?
Roll 20. Wait. A little bit to the left. Okay, right there. Thank you, roll 20. That's
wow.
Oof.
It's okay. What did you get, Matt?
Wow.
I got an 18.10, which beats the rod's 18.
It does beat the 18.5 of the rod. So, Matt. So you guys are in the room. You guys just got back. And you see the thing, and he's like, oh, that's weird. It's warm. And you see, like, the cracks in it, and you see it starting to flare. Matt, you get to go first. What would you like to do?
Hit the button to activate it to send us home.
It's about to blow up. Sending you home could kill you.
Or just send us to the plane of fire. We've already lived that one.
Plus, it doesn't have any charges left.
Oh.
Because you had to use 3 to get to wherever, and then 3 to get back, and that's all 6.
Sure.
I will knock it out of Brian's hand.
Okay.
So it doesn't explode in his hand.
Make an attack roll.
As my move, I study Brian before I attack him.
Oh, it's come down to this, has it?
Nat 20 for a 33.
Yeah, you smack it and it hits the ground and slides down the hallway and out the hallway, and out in the hallway you just hear it go, and it just explodes and just ripples. You see part of like the flooring kind of like breaks away, and some of the door gets blown off. It's the wooden the ethereal door made from extra planar door gets blown in on the ground. You guys, the concussion wave knocks you back a little bit. What level are the characters? The characters are only level 9 with a few mythic tiers. And as that happens, you actually see a face appear in the wall. Brian, you recognize this face. You saw it when you stepped out the door for a brief minute before Nick came rushing in the cabin. And it says something in Terran. Do you speak Terran?
No.
Matt, do you speak Terran?
Nope, I took Ignan instead.
That's okay. Nick can speak to all elementals.
Nice.
Well, that's good.
Nick goes, "No, yeah, we're fine. Sorry about that. Who are you?" And it says some words. And he's like, "Oh, how can you get through the gate, through the door?" And it says some words. It's like, oh. And Nick looks at you guys and goes, apparently
2 hours later.
2 hours later. Yeah. Nick looks at you guys after a conversation happens and he goes, apparently he is one with this part of the building and he will be repairing it, but it will take him some time.
Oh. Well, that's good that we didn't destroy his tower.
Yeah. It's a good thing that it happened and you were able to knock it out of the room, because that would have sucked, because you would have had to pay to rebuild the entire scrying pool. And that was not a cheap scrying pool to build.
Yeah.
To have the scry built in and permanencies. Like, that was expensive. Like, there's a lot of things that I want to put in this castle. That was one of them that I was like, if I'm going to do this, this is what it should be. And so the amount of cost that it cost for some of the things, that's why there's not a lot of other bells and whistles in this space.
Because all of it's in the scrying.
A lot of it was in the scrying pool, yeah. Because he had to be able to know what was going on so he could manage time properly. So, like, all the same things you guys dealt with. Like, he had to deal with keeping track of the time alteration. And he has had to deal with that multiple times in other actual adventures. You guys see a glimpse of that. And
Makes
whatnot,
sense.
So yeah. With that being said, you guys are kind of stuck.
Oh no, we're stuck and time's gonna fly by. Oh no, time's gonna crawl by.
I'm gonna go back to the one book that we saw, that symbol with the three of us in it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And I'm gonna
ladies and gentlemen, if you will, look right here.
We're looking right there.
I forgot what I was gonna say.
Finally awake.
Yeah, that figures.
Oh.
I'm gonna try to draw it or transfer it, so I also have a copy of it in my little spellbooky thing.
Okay. Sounds good. Excellent. Excellent, Smithers. Excellent. With that being said, you actually see the Dryad comes in to do her third round for the day. For her day. She's like, oh, what happened there? And by this point in time, it's like kind of half repaired. Oh, what happened there?
A magical item exploded.
Whoa. And she looks at you guys. Is everyone okay?
Yep.
We're doing pretty good. Unfortunately, there was a little bit of damage to this place, but your elemental friend is helping to fix it.
Yeah, it takes him some time, but he's good. It just means he's not paying attention to the cabin while he's here. So in order to, out of character, in order to make sure that the elemental worked, he bound this extra dimensional space to the door in the basement of his cabin. But only certain people get access to the door. So like other people will just open up a door and there's nothing there, it's just a wall. But certain people will open it up and can go through. That way the elemental that's got installed into his cabin is actually part of this building as well.
Because that door is connected between both.
Correct. And it's
so
it's all considered part of the same building. And
That's cool.
and the elemental has access to both sides, so she goes, well, okay. She goes, I see that the scrying, you guys turned the scrying off.
Did she say off?
Off.
Off.
I mean, I'm assuming once the battle is over, you guys kind of were done watching what was going on. So
Yeah, we finished the battle, or I should say the group finished the battle. Now we're just you know, we should celebrate. Miss, would you like a drink?
oh, human spirits aren't good for me.
Fair enough. What usually is good for you? Maybe a song?
We have some tea back in the cabin that's really good.
Oh yeah. Hey guys, the cabin, that was back in the really real world, not this place. So if we wanted to quit having time move crazy, slow or fast, or however, if we want time to be normal, I mean, we could get out there, and then, where do you, where is his cabin normally? I guess where does it is it near like
It's in between Sandpoint and Biston's Pond.
Oh, back there.
So Verizia.
Well, we haven't
She
been
goes,
back
"What's
to-
for? What do you mean? What's Verizia?"
Oh, it's the country that the two cities are in.
Oh, your
Oh.
human lines. Yeah.
Country is a loose term, but yeah. At least when it comes to Versia. But I mean, you can go back to Biston's Pond.
Well, at least we can get message to the Pathfinders there, or maybe make our way down to Magnamar, catch a ship to. I mean, where are we supposed to go now? Wherever Carrion Hill?
You have options because Dexter also was like, "Come and visit me at the Pathfinder headquarters."
Yeah, we'll probably have to go to Absalom
So
on our way
you
to
can go
Carrion.
Pathfinder headquarters, Ustalov, go home, go to Thrushmore, Biston's Pond. You have options.
Yep.
Well, if we don't want to spend the wibbly wobbly timey wimey time in here, we might as well go hang out at Biston's Pond at least for a day or two, catch up with folk.
I agree.
And then we can kind of figure out where to go from there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sounds good. And then we can check out this cabin thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. With that being said, you guys find your way to the cabin of Maractus in the really real world. Let me see.
The really real world, man.
I don't know if I have a... I do. I'm just going to bring it up here. Oh, that wants to upload it. That's not what I wanted. I just wanted to... We'll do that, and then we'll go here, and we'll carry this over.
Well, that's a cute little house.
So there you go. That is the cabin that you guys are staying in. That's what it looks like. There's a little river next to it, and it's just this little cabin in the woods. There's, you know, all kinds of nature. Has no problems. There's bird feeders, and it's, you can tell my screen's going all weird too. Oh, scary door knock. Thank you, Rolana Halo.
Rolana, knock it off.
I hate it when that's playing and I'm playing like a game that would actually have door knocks like that. And I'm like, what is that? You can tell that he actually spends the majority of his time here, not in the extra dimensional space.
Mm-hmm.
Based on where all the stuff is, if he's doing something that's time consuming, if he's doing research, if he's crafting magical items, or if he's trying to like watch what people are doing and like catch up on people, he does it in the extra dimensional space. If he's not doing those, he probably just stays at his cabin.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
But it does explain how he has a chance of knowing a lot about people, because he can just watch them all kind of at the same time and see what they're doing, provided a scry works. And why he can, when people request magical items, as long as they pay him for it, he can make them without a big deal. So if you guys want stuff crafted, all you have to do is find a way of getting a hold of Maractus. Now, if he's in the extra dimensional space, then it's probably not going to work, except for the amount of time. If you do it 2 minutes apart, send him a message 2 minutes apart, chances are he'll probably get the message on one of the two, because 2 minutes is a couple days of crafting. The chances of catching him in the extra dimensional space is far less than catching him out, just because of how time works there. Which is why they have Faye running in there like pretty much 3 times a human day, or 3, like they're constantly going in and out, because they're taking, they're checking in on the place. So yeah, in a human day is like a week or whatever of time, whatever the math turns out to be. We're kind of waving the wand on that, because honestly, as far as magic goes, as far as role-playing goes, like, this isn't something that, as Maractus, as the player of him, I'm ever going to use in the game, unless it's story-wise okay, or if the GM says, yeah, you can do that. But I'm not going to ever be like, round of combat, go back in, rest for the day, get my spells back, come back out, nuke the place, go back into the thing, rest for, and come, basically fresh spells every round. I'm not going to do that. But as we did in the, I don't remember which big group game that there was a time where the group had downtime and had to escape, and instead of building summoning a mage's tower, thank you for that, farting on my face, Lyric lost, he just brought everybody into the extra dimensional space to get a day's rest and then come back out, so everybody could get their spells back. So for Matt, mostly, or anybody else who GMs, like, I'm not going to utilize this in a way that's not fair, because I don't like that. But for a story-wise, it makes sense within the parameters of what he would do to mitigate things, and so that all of the players in the world who know who he is, that want shit crafted, can actually get shit crafted in a timely fashion.
Sure.
So, and by the rules, yes, he could do that shit, but it's not fun for anyone, including me. Like, I'm at that point, might as well not even play him. So, but
and you don't want to be the one that, it's like, you use the golden gun. Well, then other people will also use the golden gun.
Exactly. Yeah, and even if so, like, to me, it's just not fair and it's not fun. It's cool to have it and say that it's a possibility. But yeah, unless the GM or something says, hey, you can do this with that in this particular instance, I'll be like, okay. But otherwise, like, that is a story feat that I will let you guys utilize, obviously, because whatever. But it was in Nick's grand plans for him to have like this background thing, and I really wanted to give you guys some downtime and then tell a little bit of a story as far as that, because downtime stories.
Yeah.
Next time around, however, we are going to be going to Biston's Pond, which is great because I have stuff in that neck of the woods as well, which will relate to those of you watching in the stream. Some of the stuff next time we do Old School 3 will relate to the aforementioned plan that has been going, that is going to take place next year, of the game where some of our community members will get to play in the world of the United Galarian, which will take place in the Sandpoint Biston's Pond area. For that first game, I will be requiring the utilization of Matt as a player, and I think Andrew as a player, and then we'll grab a few other people as well from the community to play in that intro storyline. So That will be on one of our off days, because we have one day a month where we don't have an actual scheduled game. In that case, this month, the day before Thanksgiving will be a different stream, whether I'm doing map making or we just don't have a stream because it's Thanksgiving. But the day before Thanksgiving RPG is not going to be an actual game. So we got that going for us, which is nice. And of course, Christmas Day, we aren't going to have a stream. So with that being said, we should raid on out. I want to thank you all for being here. I want to thank Matt and Brian for joining me for this campaign, for this leg of the journey, as I'm trying to sink my teeth back into remembering what it's like to actually game master, because it's been so long and I've been actively avoiding it, and I've been so self-doubtful on the whole situation for quite some time. So we'll get back into that in a bit. Let's see who is on. Oh, I see. We're gonna raid on into some Fortnite, some Deadpool Fortnite. We're going to raid on over to our friend Dakabera. She does the Thick and Spooky Ghouls Paranormal podcast with our friend Miso Thorny today. She is doing some Fortnite with some friends, and she is raising funds for Movember. Of course, if you guys enjoyed hanging out today, I appreciate you guys being here. If you can and you want to donate to our charity, there is the link for Movember. My goal is to get to, I think, $1,000 for myself. Our team goal is 6,000. We are over 2,000 currently and on our way to our team goal of 6,000. So please, please, please come and help us out with that charity. It means a lot. I will be back tomorrow morning at about 10 to noon, noon Central Time. We'll be doing either Once Human or Palea. I haven't decided, probably Once Human, but I might jump into Palea. I'm enjoying that game. So we'll see you guys tomorrow. We're going to raid on out to the one, the only, Dakabera. Thank you guys so much for being here. Take care and good night.
Bye.